Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
Don't be nervous. We might see a difference in Karl. He's a little bit shy. There's someone here from the BBC filming this, part of that celebrity boxing thing. The Fight, I think it's called, and they want to get a little clip of this, so we're gonna let them film for a minute, and then they're gonna go away. Is that alright, Karl?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be on camera, do you? Do you?
I think it ruins radio, doesn't it? Do you know
Well,
what I
not
mean?
for the people listening, it doesn't.
Yeah, but it does, because people are like, oh, he sounds like a bit of a looker.
What you do?
Yeah. And then they'll see it on the telly, and they'll go, God, yeah, you know, his head is round.
It is round though, isn't it?
So.
Guess what? I got a call yesterday, you'll love this, Steve. From MTV. And, wondering if, they could screen test Karl.
That's outrageous.
I'm loving it, and I was going, yeah, and I said, yeah, it's fine. I'll come down with him, and I was saying, what about this and that, and they were loving it. I called him up and went, oh no. I went, why not? He went, well, I'm looking at my reflection now in the mirror. He said, I shouldn't be on the telly.
What would you wear for your screen test, Karl? What kind of look would you try and cultivate? Because you've got to bear in mind that the audience out there, they don't know what you look like. So, would you be a snappy dresser like, say, Jonathan Ross, or would you go for your kind of street cash look?
Can't wear a suit.
You can't wear a suit?
Don't hold it well. So, I'm thinking, I don't know, I'll probably wear my woolly hat, because that takes some years off me.
It does, he looks about 10 with a woolly hat on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
is it quite a cool woolly hat, or has it got a bubble?
It's charcoal, I'd say it's the in colour.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll probably wear me anorak.
Right.
Oh, he's going for the, he's going for glam. He's going for quite a glam look.
Well, no one
dressed for a jumble sale. Wow. Yeah.
But I'm not that happy about it all, to be honest.
Are you gonna do it? You're not gonna do it?
Well, I'm sort of stuck in the middle, because throughout my life so far, I've never planned for anything, right? It's just always happened.
Yeah.
The time, you know what I mean, being in plays at school, never planned it, but when I did it, I went down a storm.
It was
that sort of thing.
yeah, we all remember that.
So.
As I remember, you did Little Donkey.
Did Little Donkey, yeah.
And then later, someone was filming at the back. Was it your dad's mate?
My dad's mate. Well,
yeah, and on the camcorder, he listened to it back, watched him playing it. His dad says, just off camera, what does he say?
I don't want to say it because I'm in charge of the show and I'd be irresponsible.
He looks like a right twat.
So
he gets home, listening, watching that, and then here's his dad just off camera go, he looks like a right twat.
Yeah, alright, yeah.
What are you worried about? Your dad saying that or the
Can I just interject, because I'm really worried about this idea of Karl being on MTV, because the problem is that, you know, let's be honest, Rick, I mean, we're getting by the skin of our teeth, aren't we, really? It's only Karl that's keeping this afloat.
Yeah.
And if he gets on MTV and the world sort of gets a sense of him and they understand him, and he won't be ours anymore, we won't be able to control him, it'll be out there, it'll be in the public domain.
That's the thing, no, that's the thing, that's the terrible thing though, isn't it? It's like, Karl is my pet, but I realise I've got to release him into the wild. And, you know, because I love him, I know he's got to go free.
Sure.
But I wanna,
It's like Kez. Maybe someone will beat him to death and we won't have to worry.
I'll have you on though, I'll have you on as a guest. Which gets me on to something we've got coming up today.
Oh yeah, he's got a new idea.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know, like, I've talked about ghosts, and we had that good discussion the other week walking to Piccadilly Circus Station, and I was telling you about ghosts, and you were saying, Karl, don't be an idiot, and all that. Spoke to a woman in the week, done a little interview with her.
You've done a little interview?
Done a little interview, 2 minutes or so, with a woman who's got ghosts in her house. So,
I look forward to hearing that later, that sounds brilliant.
Coming up later.
Well, I'm gonna play a classic tune now. I've just gone straight for it, I've gone for the jugular. This is Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie. Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl's also nervous, because you had a bit of shock last week, didn't you?
Just a little bit.
His dad tuned in.
To the show?
Yeah. And Karl's never told him that he actually speaks on the show. He just said, I just press the buttons, right? He's kept him from it. You used to do radio before and you never told him, did you? It's because of the little donkey incident.
Yeah.
When he went along, so...
Was that the twat incident?
Yeah. And so he's never told him since, but they've promised not to listen, haven't they?
Well, my mum said to me, don't worry, don't be put off this week, because, you know, I've told him he can't listen, but I hear my dad in the background kinda going, bollocks. So, he might be listening. So that's extra pressure. Plus a camera crew in.
I know. You don't like it, do you?
This is good training for MTV, because then he can watch you on TV. I mean, what's he gonna make of that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Does he know you're bald?
Yeah.
You don't keep your hat on when you're with him and say, oh no, I'll just press the buttons.
No, it's just, you know, it's like when I was in any plays, I didn't tell him.
No.
Any sort of parents' evening, I never gave him the note.
Really?
Yeah.
So what did the teachers think? You were just an orphan?
No, just on an off chance. My mate's dad spoke to me dad once, I think, and sort of said, oh, you go to school to see how, you know, your kid's doing. Is that what you're talking about? So there's a parents' evening, so he went
Said what kid?
He went to one, and that's when Mrs. Matthews said I'd never be a high flyer.
How wrong was she?
Yeah.
I think we should call Mrs. Matthews and make her eat her words.
Well.
She'd turn on to MTV when, I don't know, like their slamming session.
Yeah.
And they're gonna go, that's young Pilkington. He's bald, but it's definitely him.
I recognise that woolly hat.
Yeah. Did you see Celebrity Fit Club yesterday?
I missed it. I didn't watch any TV this week. The only TV I watched was, Are You Good in Bed? I already knew the answer.
What was it? You had to have to tick points?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It was no! I was off the scale.
Well, talking off the scales, Rick Waller.
Really? Is he off? What's
well,
happened?
what he did is he lost weight and they couldn't believe it, and he had a big argument with Harvey and they said go, never come back to it, right? And then he got to weigh and then he'd lost sort of like 10 pounds or something. And, they were really, they said, you've been starving yourself, haven't you? And he admitted it. And,
I thought he just wasn't wearing his underpants.
yeah. But he was whinging all the time. He was watching it, he was doing a press that was going, I've hurt my arm. Then he was going, I feel sick. And he was going, and he was just lying all the time about whether he was doing the routine and what he was eating and stuff. And I thought, that's me with this celebrity box. It is, because it's sort of like, and they go, how's it going? Did you have a drink this week? And I go, no. Haven't had a beer this week, no. Did you do the exercise today? And I go, yep. Yeah, I've done all that. Yeah. And I try and get out of the sparring because it hurts because there's a man hitting me in the face for fun.
Right. Because you know that's what boxing is.
So, yeah, that is being hit, yeah. I like all the bits, except the being hit. I don't even mind hitting someone.
Right,
I'd be willing to hit someone. It's the getting hit that I don't like.
Because I know you're a big fan of, like wearing the clothes, the sort of sporty gear.
I'm looking good,
you look good, and you've obviously sort of spent their money.
They gave me this for training.
Free of charge.
This was free for training.
That's a perk you love.
So,
and I know you like, kind of the sort of various sort of nutritional drinks you've got. I know you're a big fan of those.
I love the protein shake, because it tastes like chocolate. You know what? I've put on a couple of pounds since I've been doing this training.
Nice.
I think it is the extra meal and,
so you're adding the protein, but not working out enough to take it off again?
Yeah, but I think I have actually changed a bit. I've got an inch on my chest, but an inch off my waist. So even though I've put on weight, there must be a little bit of muscle happening somewhere.
So just to recap there slightly, you're enjoying all the trappings of boxing.
Yeah.
But not the boxing.
Not the getting hit in the nose.
Right.
That's the one.
And you are aware that that's what will be happening during the actual fight?
No, because I've got a cunning plan.
Okay.
I'm gonna duck and dive.
Okay.
Bob and weave, dance. I'm gonna dance.
Well, I read in the paper yesterday, I don't know how much truth there is, that, Grant Bovey has recruited celebrity hypnotist Paul McKenna to help him win.
Yeah,
so
could
I
be
don't
true.
know if that's of any truth, because I know haven't you got Spit the Dog?
I've
got a couple of ventriloquists and an impressionist on your side.
I've got Pork Pie from Desmond.
Yeah, exactly.
Just getting me tuned
in your corner.
mentally. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's all a bit of fun.
What do you reckon, Carl? Do you think he's,
what's McKenna gonna be doing? Is like Grant Bovey gonna be turning into a chicken and... You know what I mean?
He's gonna do an Elvis impression.
Yeah.
And say
if I say the right words.
No, I think he's probably gonna just help him focus
I think there's lots of sports psychologists out there at the moment getting people, so I'm sure it's valid. If it's true, I'm sure it's, fine. But, I've been getting tuned mentally, learning how to hit.
Yeah.
That was my method. Eating and hitting, I think is...
And do you work out to any music? I mean, do you put on the Rocky soundtrack? Because I know you've got, a CD with music from all 5 films, haven't you?
No, we don't. I think they have the radio on down there, but you don't hear it. It's, all you hear is people shouting, saying things like, that's not like a fighter, and me going, I'm not a fighter, I'm a comedian.
And is it quite intimidating down there? I mean, do they, I mean, I'm sure they're nice people, but
I'm getting used to it now, but it is a different world, and I was quite scared, and I didn't
When you say I mean, is it like they're gangsters? I mean, is it kind of... I just mean, has it got that feel? You know, when you see it in films, they walk into those places and, you know, they're hard nuts, and there's that feel like...
Well, they're all, you know, they're all ex-boxers and stuff, so yeah, but no, they're not, no, that's not what I mean.
I suppose it's like they're real men.
Well, yeah, and, they don't understand, really, that I don't like getting hit on the nose. And they say, well, no one gets hit on the nose. And it took me a long time to get over that, just taking a couple of punches.
Yeah.
I wanted to rule it out. And, but, you know, it's okay now. And of course I know they're mollycoddling me. They're not, they're using about 25% power, and I'm still...
And you wear the headgear, do you?
Oh, yeah, and the gum shield, yeah. I wanted to wear a crash helmet, but they said no. And carry a baseball bat, and they said that's technically illegal. But, I'm looking for, I'm a changed man, Carl. What we got coming up?
Got a bit of a, Death in Vegas with vocals from Liam Gallagher.
Final question for you, Rick. Do you think you'll carry on boxing after this is finished?
Competitively?
No, just the training and stuff.
Yeah, I do the training. Yeah, no, I love the training. I love learning the skills, and I do enjoy the training. I don't relish getting punched around. And I'm not worried about the fight at all. I'm really looking forward to the fight, because, Grant's a novice like me. It's just when you get in with an ex-pro who, you know, could destroy you so you're scared to hit him. And, you know, they never lose their rag, and they're really cool, and they're really nice, and they've never even hit me by mistake. But even just tapping you like that in the face hurts.
I was walking down Finchley Radio and a couple of sixth formers said, "Oh, you lanky goggle-eyed freak," and I just wondered if maybe you could pop round and have a word with them.
I will.
Some of your friends.
An enemy of yours is an enemy of mine.
Good.
Scorpio Rising, Death in Vegas on XFM 104.9, Steve. I'm Ricky Gervais. Carl's a little bit less stressed now. There's camera crew have gone, his dad's not listening, we think.
Well, yeah, who knows? Who knows?
But, you're chilled.
I tell you what though, my mum was loving it. Do you know Rockbusters?
Do I know Rockbusters? I love Rockbusters. I think I dream of it.
She was taking part. I mean, she doesn't know a lot of the new bands and that, but she made some up for some older bands and that.
Oh, she did some herself?
She made some herself, sent them in the post.
So are you going to use those today?
She's not quite got the hang of it.
So unlike her genius son.
Have you got them there? Can we hear what they are?
You keep talking a second then.
I'm quite excited. I mean, if they're even approaching, say, the genius of Wet Knee Houston.
Yeah.
There was another one which was something to do with a trench, Carl. What was that?
That was Dandy Warhols. That was a good one.
Dandy Warhols.
I think that was his finest moment. Yeah.
Incidentally, I've got an email here from someone called Sauda, if that's a he or a she, but let's assume it's a she, just for glam's sake.
Yeah.
She says she saw an old man eating a Twix last week, Carl, so that blows your theory out the
I'm not having it.
Okay. So if you are a bloke, he's calling you a liar, so maybe you want a little rumble later?
In fact, if you are a bloke, he's calling you a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, then. These are ones that my mum's made up.
Brilliant.
Right, just in case you're a new listener, I'll give some initials out and a cryptic clue. And it makes up a band, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or a solo artist.
Yeah, not so much cryptic as what you're thinking.
Well, go on. My mum sent this one. This group would be good at doing your hair.
This group would be good at doing your hair.
TP.
Is there a group called the Hairdressers from the 60s?
This group would be good at doing your hair.
TP.
TP. Is it the something?
The Platters.
The Platters.
Yeah, that's alright.
Yeah, so that's alright.
Nice.
Let's have a look. This group sound like dinosaurs.
Group sound like dinosaurs.
T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Yeah. I see what you mean. They're not so much cryptic, are they?
This group...
Don't leave her alone. They're good.
This group likes being by the sand and the sea.
This group likes being by the sand.
Are they the Beach Boys, boy?
Beach Boys.
This band are called the Beatles. The Beatles.
Hang on. We just have a...
What else you got?
It's funny because one of them that she's done, I'm actually doing today. I thought of in the week.
Right?
So,
is it the same clue?
It was, yeah.
Wow, great minds think alike.
Here's
so
the
this
last
is obviously
one.
Coincidence.
Here's the last one from her. This guy sounds superb.
This guy sounds superb.
The Bachelors.
Glenn Campbell.
That's good. I like that.
I'd tell you this, I think you should get onto one of the big game, organisations, Parker Brothers or whatever, because this has got to be, I mean, this could sweep the nation at Christmas. Don't you think this is the perfect Christmas game?
Yeah.
Well, I think this is what's gonna make or break the MTV thing.
Right. Some kind of TV version.
Yeah. I'm just thinking into ad breaks, you know, coming up next is this band.
Be careful though, Carl, because, you know, make sure you retain the rights, because I can see this selling abroad. You know, you could
and I can see someone coming along and taking the sort of like the Rockbusters and changing one word and making another game out of it and just using the same format. I don't know. I can't think of something there, but they could change. So
sort of like
they change the word rock to something else and have it.
What could it be? Brick block.
Yeah, and so you have to, you know what I mean? So be careful.
Blockbusters will never work.
Look at his little face.
So we're doing that later. Got some good prizes.
Okay. We'll talk about the prizes after.
Yeah. Educating Ricky.
Yeah, got that.
We've got the woman who's got a ghost in her house.
Yeah. It's a shame she's not here live, because I feel like I want to ask a few questions, Rick. I don't know about you.
Don't worry, I've covered it all.
You've covered it all, God.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, play a record.
Rick, I know probably you, like me, are just too busy really to keep abreast of new music, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, we're busy people, we've got, you know, important showbiz parties to go to and stuff. That's why I have friends of mine who send me compilations and stuff. That's one of my, quarterly compilations from my friend Harry, and that's All Downhill From Here by Jim O'Rourke.
I've got a new track coming up later, actually, that I think you might like. So, you know, we're inflaming each other's desire for new songs as well as going back to the back catalogue of some classics.
Sure.
Alright? I love adverts better though.
I do.
I love adverts.
It's weird.
Missy Elliott on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais with me, Steve and Karl. Karl, why have you got a headache? You got a headache?
Just a bit stressful because the moves on this week.
Are you leaving house?
Oh, by the way, the XFM listeners came round to my house and bought the futon and table.
Did they?
Were they happy with it?
Quite normal. They were well happy.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe the luck with it.
What do you mean quite normal? What do you mean quite normal?
Well, it's always a bit scared, isn't it, getting people round.
I imagine they were scared.
Well.
And were they excited to see you? Could they, I mean, they were, you know, could you tell that they were pretty pleased to see you?
No, I don't think so, I mean...
You're Karl Pilkington.
Yeah, but the fellas sort of, I mean, they brought the whole family round, which was a bit odd.
Well, it's not often they get the chance to visit a living freak.
Anyway, no, they were nice.
And you're moving now, yeah? He said he phoned me up today. You know, it was absolutely tipping it down. Right? He had to cycle in. Right? Because he said, because of the move, he doesn't want to leave his bike round there. Right? And he said, and Suzanne, oh, I can't say this in case he's listening, can I?
He won't know.
He said Suzanne's hired the oldest removal man in London.
You should hear him. And the thing is, right, we booked him because everyone else happened to be booked out, but this fella's free, right? So he called up this morning, I've never spoke to him, but he was on the phone. He sounded about 90.
Yeah. Can't think that he's gonna have to do all the work.
And the thing is, right, it seems to be
All he wanted some Werther originals.
Yeah, right, listen, it seemed to be cheap because it's £50 an hour. But how long is it gonna take him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's genius!
When's the move on then? When's the
he's coming round, he came round today to bring some empty boxes, and he was struggling with them. So, it actually happens on Wednesday.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so,
Rich, I noticed that you were laughing and almost had a heart attack. Doesn't bode well for the boxing match, does it?
Cough at the moment, haven't I? I've had my lemsip.
Anyway, what we're doing now, Karl?
Well, I teased you with it before.
Are you gonna get it out again?
I'm always like trying to get you, you know, thinking, opening your mind up a bit to ghosts and stuff.
Yes.
So, this woman who I know, she said she'd come in and I could interview her to try and sort of, you know, get the belief out there.
Okay.
So
yeah, because there's not enough belief in the occult and rubbish out there.
So does she think she has a ghost?
She has, yeah, she's had a few.
She has, no, it's fact.
Yeah, no,
yeah, she has.
So I thought maybe it's a new feature we could try for a couple of weeks, see how it goes down. You know Parkinson?
Uh-huh.
What about Pilkington? Welcome to, Pilkington.
Thank you.
My guest today is Taryn. She's a plugger. You're still a plugger, right?
No, do co-management.
Right,
now.
she does co-management, but she was a plugger. She looked after Therapy, Raging Speed On, Slash, all the big names, yeah? But we're not here to talk about music today. We do a lot of that on XFM. Today we're talking ghosts. Now, Ricky and Steve, who I do the show with, they're not having any of it. So I said, well, I know someone who, you know, gets on with ghosts. There's a lot of them. So I thought I'd get you in today, have a little chat for a couple of minutes, just to sum up the story so they get an idea of what happened. You had a horse, yeah? You had it in some stables.
Yes.
He hasn't let her speak yet.
You went to, like, look after it and that, play around with it, take it for a ride and that.
Riding,
yeah. Two of your mates were in the stable where your horse is.
Not my stable, in the opposite stable.
In the opposite stable.
And I heard them giggling and
they're
getting
messing
up to
about
something.
and that, yeah. You heard them having a laugh. So you thought, right, what are they up to? So you go in, and they're messing about with a Ouija board.
Yeah.
Right. So, this is where you come in. Did you get involved with the Ouija board?
Unfortunately, I did.
Right. And what happened then?
I was like, oh, you don't believe in this. Oh, let me have a go.
Right.
And, ask a few questions, put our hands on, and it actually started moving.
So a lot of the stuff you asked it, did the things happen that you asked?
Yes, they did.
Right? So that's scary for a start, right? We haven't even got to the ghost bit yet. So you mess about with that.
Trap soul,
Yeah.
I like to call
Right,
him.
trap soul. So you're messing about on the Ouija board, you say, right, I've had enough of this now.
Yeah.
I've got all the answers I need.
Yeah.
You go home,
I didn't like them.
you go in the house, and it's a bit nippy.
The flat is absolutely fine. It's when I went into the bedroom. You've got to remember, it's a very, very warm, hot evening.
Right.
And walk into the bedroom and note it is cold. Colder than usual. But I'm actually quite glad because it's so hot.
Right, okay.
Completely ignored the fact that the windows were all shut but the curtains were blowing. Didn't sleep well at all.
Right.
Next evening, same again.
Freezing.
Yeah,
Wind.
very, very noticeably cold.
Curtains blowing.
Yeah, I'm fast asleep, get woken up, the wardrobe's opening.
So at this point, this is where we clear up. You're not on crack. You're not.
Oh, never touched drugs in my entire life.
You're not a drinker.
No. I will have the odd glass of red wine.
Yeah. Right. That's all right. They recommend that anyway. They say it's good for your heart.
What started happening was, as the week progressed, I also felt the bed covers at one point at night fold over, double bed, the bed covers fold over, and it was like someone was getting in the bed next to me. But you've got to remember, when you're in a deep sleep, you're not quite thinking, and you're thinking, I'm losing it. I was getting more and more tired, more and more a little stressed. I'm really thinking I was having a breakdown. The final straw was when the clothes on the end of my bed that I just throw hit me.
How come you were going back home at night?
Because I was sceptical. In fact, 6 months ago I would have said, I don't want to go there, people will think I'm mad. But you know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
I know there's more out there.
Well, brilliant. Well, cheers for that, and thanks for being a guest on Pilkington.
Incisive investigative journalism there.
I like the fact that you've learned a lot from Parkinson, even stealing some of his questions, like, are you on crack? Which I know he always asks his guests.
Yeah. I like the fact that when she went, I don't know, I have the occasional red wine, well, that's alright for you. Good for your art. That was great.
It was brilliant.
That is the best interview technique I've ever heard anywhere.
I feel like there's still some questions unanswered.
Yeah, it hasn't proved it to me, I'll be honest,
No,
Carl. It
it's
hasn't proved me the existence of ghosts
I have to
and
say, Rick, that
poltergeists.
I was worried as soon as she got involved with the Ouija board. I was thinking, please do not get involved with that Ouija board.
Yeah. I was worried when it said I heard some giggling coming from the other stable.
Yeah.
Don't go over there. Don't go over there.
It's, what questions did she ask the Ouija board? You didn't ask her that, I noticed.
She didn't want to.
She didn't want to say?
No.
Okay.
Do you think it was something like why that you did to try and confuse the computer, and the spirit world got really annoyed, and they got confused, and they came back and started messing up her clothes?
But what do you think then? There's
What do you mean? What do you mean, what do I think?
What do you think? Do you know what I mean?
What about what? There's nothing I can answer there. There's nothing I can answer.
Alright, she said...
Well, I'll just keep saying I don't believe in the existence of ghosts, because of the impossibility.
Right. Now, when she said... I mean, the interview I did for 50 minutes.
You did for how long?
50 minutes.
50?
But I
50
thought,
minutes?
yeah, we might use that at Christmas or something, right? But the thing is...
Well, that's the best you got out of 50 minutes. They're the highlights.
No, I'll be honest.
MTV are not going to call again.
I'll tell you what, right? It did get a bit dark, and I didn't want that sort of stuff going out,
Saturday
right?
afternoon, yeah.
But I can understand the heating thing. I said, well, you know, in the full interview, I was saying, you know, that could be anything, couldn't it? Heating broke or something. Now, she said what else was she talking about?
Someone got into the bed next to her.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of said, well, you know, how did that happen?
Yeah.
And she couldn't explain it herself, but
Sure.
I said, but it did wake you up. Maybe you're a little bit sort of, still
Although
tired.
the only explanation I can think of, if she didn't actually see anyone, is well, it was a ghost.
Yeah, well, that
She's
was
probably got a ghost
But
getting in
what
bed. Go
about
on.
cupboards opening and shutting?
See, again, the only explanation for that is a ghost.
Yeah.
Well,
I
play
can't think
it-
of anything else.
Play a record. It's got to be a ghost.
It is ghost. I think you've proven it to us.
Yeah, a spirit.
Street spirit?
Nice. Well done.
Hey. Street Spirit. Radiohead. So, turns out ghosts do exist after all, Steve.
A woman what Karl knows proved it.
I've got egg on my face.
Yep.
On XFM.
Instantly, Rick, I should just encourage you and everyone else listening.
I really have got egg on my face, is that what you're gonna say? Yeah, I've just been eating an omelette.
James Randi, a hero of yours and a hero of mine. He's on TV this week on Horizon, I think it's maybe Thursday, check press for details, trying to expose the nonsense that is homeopathy.
Oh yeah, I saw that, yeah.
So I look forward to that.
Do you know what that is, Karl?
Oh, go on.
They've got a theory that, if you, say you got something, an essential oil or something, in a solution, 1 in 10 solution, and it does something to you, actually does something to you, they've got this thing where they dilute it till there's nothing in it, but because they're using the same water, and the water still has the same effect. It's sort of like a placebo that you know works. You know, that's the sort of theory of it.
What time's that on?
Check the papers, but I think it's, sort of 9 o'clock Thursday, something like that. It'll be interesting though, Karl. It will be interesting, mate. Trust me. I'll tell you what's also interesting, Rick. The prizes we're giving away this week on Rockbusters. We got for you, David Attenborough's The Life of Mammals. I don't know, is this a new show? Is this on TV at the moment? Is this like a new thing? So that looks good. It's like a double VHS thing there. We've also got a U2, the best of their, 90s videos, even better than the real things on there. Mysterious Ways, Beautiful Day, Electrical Storm, the new one. Stuff on there, that's on the video. We've also got a couple of CDs, The Smashing Pumpkins. I think this is sort of alternative versions of a lot of their hits and stuff, live versions and stuff like this. Johnny Cash's current album, possibly his last. We don't know, because apparently he's not very well at the moment.
That's an album of covers.
Yeah, well, not all covers, some of his new stuff as well, but he's done covers of things like Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode, and Desperado, and Bridge Over Troubled Water. And the great thing about Cash is I read an amazing review where it says it's like he always makes them his own, do you know what I mean? It's like you can't even remember the old versions.
Well, Desperado by the Eagles?
By the Eagles, yeah.
I'd like to play that, just hear that, because I haven't heard that. We'll play that and then give it away. These are actually good prizes, Karl.
Good prizes. We've also got, including a small, miniature 3-wheel car, an Only Fools and Horses video. I think this is the, special that was on Christmas TV last year. So if you're one of the people who didn't see it, I mean, wasn't there like 22 million people watching?
Ridiculous, yeah.
If you're one of the people who, you know, desperately wants to see it again, I know I do.
And wants a small yellow car.
Also wants a small yellow car. Then there it is. And, also, another of these, compilations, arbitrary compilation albums, the best chill-out album ever, Rick.
Sure.
If you're a fan of the Levi's Freedom ad,
I love the Levi's Freedom ad.
Then, the track that's
I hate the music to it, though.
No, well, that's a shame, because it's included on here. Rick, how much do you love the Volvo TV advert?
Love it.
Because that's
hate the music again, though. Why?
That's a shame, because that track is
the
also
music.
on
Okay. Sure.
But there's also stuff on here, there's some interesting stuff, there's Pink Floyd, there's Coldplay, there's Roy Scott, so, you know, it's probably worth it.
I love Pink Floyd. Except the music again. So it's a bit of a bind for me.
That's a whole heap of treats.
And that's the winner of Rockbusters.
That's the winner of Rockbusters.
Coming up after the adverts.
Okay.
Doves, Caught by the River on XFM 104.9. We're into the second hour now. This is when this award-winning show really kicks into gear.
When you say award-winning?
We haven't won them yet. I mean, we will win some.
Hang on, let me remind you, wasn't there a bronze in the Sony Awards?
Oh yeah, we got a bronze. I don't go up for bronze, it doesn't count. No, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously, with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington, which is, what Heat write about, really. Karl's the main man. Think of Karl, a year ago, he was just sitting in that room going, alright, I've done this. XFM. It's good, isn't it? Yeah, it's like a music bed. Brilliant. Comes on the show, we start taking the piss out of him. People start going, oh, who's the idiot you've got in? And we go, it's Karl. And they go, we like him, he's a fool. I go, yes, he's a fool, he's a pet buffoon. And they go, we'll let him speak more. Right? And they're going, don't let him talk, XFM, the fat cats. Oh. And I said, I'm a rebel and I'll do it my way.
Rick, can I ask, did you stick it to the man?
Yeah. And then MTV call up. Heat are writing about him every week.
Yeah.
He's just been filmed for the BBC.
There's some rumours he might be the new James Bond.
Yeah. He's eating lovely McVitie's original digestives. Are we allowed to, if McVitie's are listening, I love these biscuits.
Yeah.
And he's got the best.
If the Spearmint Rhino strip clubs are listening, I'm a huge fan.
Right? And he's got Rockbusters to come.
Yes, I should just ask, the few people have asked me this, and there's also an email here from Rich. People are saying they've seen some of the posters and the adverts of, advertising the show, plugging the show. Why aren't you on the posters, Karl? And it is your choice, isn't it? We did ask, Karl to be involved, but
he is actually. It's like, where's Waldo? He's actually,
is he there hidden?
He's in my trousers.
Look, you don't like having your photo taken, no? You're not seeking the publicity.
No.
I reckon you are secretly. I don't believe you.
No, he's right. He's totally right. He's doing it just right. But I think there's a fine line to be drawn that, you know, if you like being in, you know, around radio, you've got and you want your own show, or you enjoy talking and they just happen to be filming you for MTV, that's different. I think what you just avoid is going to silly celebrity bashes, having your picture taken for the sake of it. I mean, I think you're right, but I think you should do the screen test. On a serious note, I think you should do the screen test, just because it might be fun, and if it's no good, they won't do it, and you can stop any time you want. No one has to keep going on telly.
I just think we're gonna lose him.
No,
we won't lose him.
Listen, right, I'll always be part of this.
I'm just worried that you're gonna exhaust yourself. You're gonna be drained. You're gonna have told all your anecdotes on MTV.
He certainly will have, if you have to help the old fella upstairs with the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, £50 an hour. Oh. That's terrible. Go on.
But I'm what I wanted to do, right, because I don't want to embarrass myself, right? I don't want to embarrass the woman at MTV when I turn up and she thinks, oh, look at him.
Yeah.
What a waste of film this is gonna be, because it's not cheap. I know that.
It's not film either, but go on.
Well.
It won't. It is cheap. It is cheap. They're filming on a DV camera that they can go over. If it's no good, they won't show it to anyone. It'll be great. It's just what they want you. Honestly, I can just see you doing little things, just like popping up, you know, between the records and going, all right, MTV, music, television. Hear about the airy Chinese kid born, which is weird, isn't it? Because they're not usually airy. And it just goes MTV. It'd be brilliant. It'd be brilliant, Carl. If I'll come down with you. I'll come down with you.
Well, we'll see.
Go on.
We'll think about it, right?
Go on. Right, Rockbusters.
So Rockbusters, you know, it's a little clue, some initials, 3 different clues. You email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. You can win the load of stuff that we've got. So, first one, here's the clue. Stop throwing that fruit about.
Oh. What's the initial?
That's CB. CB. Stop throwing that fruit about.
Yeah.
Alright.
Is Anders listening? Has he emailed us in yet?
Anders, not had any response from Anders. I'll keep
maybe he hasn't stopped listening. Because he doesn't like the show. He's gone off. I hope he hasn't gone off the show.
So, the second one, that Scottish fella has made an error.
That Scottish fella has made an error.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's M.
Right.
That Scottish fella has made an error. Right. Okay. And, the last one, God, you can make a right load of toast with them.
You can make a right load of toast with them?
Yeah.
Alright, what's the initial there?
That's G.
G, I was thinking it might be bread for a minute, but no. G.
So just very quickly, stop throwing that fruit about, CB.
I've got the last one.
Right. Scottish fella.
It doesn't work, it doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Well, that Scottish fella's made an error, that's M. And, God, you can make a right load of toast with them, that's G. Email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk and you can...
We've got the CDs, we've got horses, we've got mammals on VHS, we got U2, we got a couple of CDs including Johnny Cash.
Here's a new tune from a new fella called Papa Garcia. See what you think of this.
You see, if he was on MTV, I couldn't say his name.
Why?
What is it again?
Papa Garcia.
Right, here's a new one from Papa Garcia.
Brilliant. Papa Garcia, Natalie and Nusi from the forthcoming album Bring Me the Head of Papa Garcia. Catchy that. Quite retro. It's a bit of Elton John and
all sorts of
yeah, lovely. Right, here we go. Quick clues again. And then we better do Educating Ricky.
Well, this is the favourite bit of the show for me now, Educating Ricky.
I love it.
I can't, well, I'm anxious all week.
Well, just quickly on those clues, just in case people need to know again. Stop throwing that fruit about, CB. That Scottish fella's made a bit of an error, M. And, God, you can make loads of toast with them. That's, G.
Alright, brilliant. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. It's email only.
Oh, yeah. I need some learning. I need some knowledge, Carl. Educate me.
I might be able to help you.
Go on.
We've got 3 things, as always. I'll give them a little, heading to tease you, as to which one you want to learn first.
Yeah.
First one is the tip included?
Is the tip included?
Like it.
Second one, I want to come here in hindsight. Right.
I wouldn't have come here in hindsight?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the third one, am I gonna have to thump you?
Am I gonna have to thump you? Okay, and you've trawled, what, the internet?
So if I can get into the mindset of this plan, is the tip included? Well, obviously, that's probably not gonna be about a waiter. It's gonna be, if that's someone losing the end of his knob, I assume. Am I gonna have to thump you? That's a man who lost his arm in a fight, but then picked it up with the other arm and smacked him with it. What was the middle one?
I want to come here in hindsight.
Hindsight.
Heinz site?
Someone was blinded by baked beans.
Sure. So what are you going for then?
I think I'd better go for, Armour Gonna Have to Thump You.
Right, well this isn't... I've been struggling again, to be honest with you. Searching high and low for stuff, and some of these I had to leave till this morning. So
right, because there's just not enough knowledge out in the world, is there, that you don't know about?
I found out about something in the week about a guy who, was playing tug-of-war.
This is bonus material, isn't it?
He was playing tug-of-war.
Oh, his arm came off.
Only his arm come off.
Yeah, he got caught up in the rope, yeah.
No, he didn't. He didn't get caught up in the rope, he just was trying that hard and didn't want to lose. He kept over
But he allowed his arm to be pulled off?
He really wanted to win. And
Well,
the other team pulled it and his arm come off.
No.
Well.
I don't know who to believe.
Well, think about it. If he's gripping,
yeah.
As soon as there's tension, like the arm coming out of the socket, the hand might release. I think his arm got caught up in the rope. And so it was involuntary, as opposed to him going, well, my arm's coming off, but I'm not gonna lose this! You might be right.
That's the fact.
That's a bonus. That's a bonus fact.
Yeah, well,
that's educated me.
Well,
a man lost his arm. Oh, interesting. Go on.
Armour Gonna Have to Thump You.
Yeah.
Do you know the saying, shut your face?
Yeah, I've heard the well-known Shakespeare, innit?
Yeah. Do you know how it came about?
No, Joe Dolce.
No,
go on.
It's, ages ago.
Oh yeah, literally.
Like, knights who wore armour.
Okay.
And that's, Armour Gonna Have to Thump You, that's how it came about.
Okay, armour.
They wore all the stuff, and they had the helmet, and say if they're guarding something at night, stood outside a castle or something,
yeah.
And there's probably gonna be two of them. Right, so they stood there talking and that, and talking about stuff, and
the future,
medieval stuff.
One of them's like, oh, we should shut up. You know, I've been stood here for hours, and he's going on and on.
Yeah, sure.
So he'd say, "Shut your face," meaning, shut the guard down on your helmet,
the visor,
and I can't hear you then. So shut your face.
Shut your face.
And that's how it came about.
Well, I suppose
it would be interesting if I could just rely on it.
I'm not sure it's true.
I know. I just never know.
It needs to be corroborated.
It's like I don't know where he got it from, but anything via Karl is precarious.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe you should give us your sources next time. You know, tell us where you got this information from.
Got it off the internet.
Yeah, but where on the internet?
I can't remember where that one was. I mean, I always go through like the news pages and stuff, and
this news should be updated because they've only reached the 17th century, which is last week with people eating tomatoes off lead plates.
Then I look at news and there was stuff about a woman who was in a shop and she, I don't know, they had some workmen in doing the shop up, and they had some wood glue left out and she asked for some pear juice, and then the guy went and thought the glue in the thing was the pear juice and she went and drank that, but that's not really news.
No.
So I thought, well, we're not having that.
I wish you hadn't told us.
There was one about...
So there's some poor woman now whose tiles have fallen off because she tried to put them up with pear juice.
Yeah.
See, that's the danger of mixing up pear juice with toxic glue.
Yeah.
Your wallpaper and your tiles and everything just fall down.
There's also...
Be careful, everyone.
Be careful.
There's something about, kids having hamburgers, it makes them fat.
Hamburgers...
hold on. What? Having food with high fat content can make you put on weight?
Yeah.
Don't believe it. You're an idiot. What's the next one?
Well,
no, let's play a tune, let's play a tune.
You've still got to come, you've still got I Want to Come Here in Hindsight, and you've still got Is a Tip Included, but we've got a bit of,
Well, I think we haven't played anything for a while, have we, in terms of the hip-hop hooray feature that I used to, be so popular for. So I thought we'd just resurrect that for 1 week only.
Heat didn't pick up on that one, did they?
They didn't, did they? Let me just remind you, hip-hop hooray was where I played a hip-hop track.
And then I said hooray, or?
Yeah, no, I think didn't even have that.
Brilliant.
That's a great thing, though. We could add that in, we could phase that in. Maybe at the end of the, song you could...
Hooray.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Oh, check it.
Featuring Puff Daddy and Little Kim, that's Notorious B.I.G.
Brilliant.
And, Notorious.
Great, lovely. Karl just, said to me, here's something. You can't hold your breath to death.
Have you tried it, Karl?
It's just another little lesson.
There's someone here who's in a really low ebb. They've been listening to the show, they were going to commit suicide. They just start holding their breath and thinking, oh, screw it.
Well, what did you learn in the week, right? I'm always doing all the educating, I asked you were talking about watching a programme about jellyfish.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that'll be interesting. I'll try and find some stuff out, but I couldn't find anything that I didn't already know about them.
It must be difficult for you to find anything you don't already know.
So what did you learn about jellyfish?
I agreed with you by the end of it, that they should be wiped off the face of the earth because they're balls of water in membrane, right, that go around stinging people to death. Let's lose them, Karl. Let's lose the jellyfish. Yeah?
That's what I think. Because I was stung by one. You know?
Oh, you got stung by one? Yeah,
I was on holiday and got stung by one.
Yeah.
And I don't understand.
No,
don't understand them.
I'm not a fan of them.
So that's that.
Good. So, well, that's sorted out the jellyfish conundrum. We've solved that particular worry.
Right then, so, take your pick then.
I asked him if he could have any animal the other day. Did I ask him on air as well?
Don't know.
Off air, he said, I've got it down to 2. Right, and this was, he said, what favourite animal looking at, or could I own one? And I went, you could own one. And he went, right, but could I own one, or would I have trouble? I went, Karl, you've got all the expertise, you can just have it in whatever it needs, and you go down there, he went, right, and I won't regret it and get fed up. I said, no, Karl, just what animal, if you could have any animal, what animal would you love? He went, I've got it down to 2. I went, what is it? He said, either the rhino or the hippo.
What's your logic?
Well, I don't know, that was then. I mean, ask me tomorrow, and I might have 2 other favourites. Do you know what I mean? When was that?
A couple of weeks ago. When was that? Well, you were there.
Yeah, but, you know.
What are they today? Quickly now. First animal that comes into your head.
Quickly now, any animal I want.
You could have any animal in the world.
Right.
From one that's maybe extinct, anything you want.
Right, I might have, just for today.
Just for today.
I might have a scorpion in a little box.
A little scorpion in a box. What's your thinking?
It's the chimp every time. It's the chimpanzee or the gorilla.
No. But, have I told you that programme about the scorpion? How they all help each other out?
Right. Scorpions all help each other out?
No, this is brilliant, right? Somewhere in the desert.
Okay.
There's these little...
In the desert.
It's like these little monkeys that are underground or something. And there's holes.
Is this Beneath the Planet of the Apes? The 4th in the series.
Are they talking apes?
Oh, forget it, actually.
No, and you've got it wrong anyway. They're not monkeys.
There's little monkeys under the ground. What are they doing then? They're toiling in some underground mines.
They're lizards, if you remember, and the lizard goes to sleep, and the bloke comes along. You've told this, and
we've done it. All right.
Monkey from monkey. That's what happens in his mind. From lizard to monkey. Oh, evolution would have been so much easier if Karl was around. Turn it into a monkey. I'm fed up with the lizard.
Just promise me once again, Karl. I've asked you before. Promise me you'll never have children.
Go on, right, okay.
Right, what are you having?
Right, what are they again?
Is the tip included?
Yeah, go on, that one.
Right, in Turkey...
Nice.
It's not, actually. That's where I went, and there was them little fellas after Suzanne in the kitchen.
What? What do you mean?
We went to Turkey.
You went to Turkey and there were some little fellas?
Well, they had quite a few sort of midgets working in the kitchen.
Why? Is it a theme?
No,
was it a theme holiday?
I don't know. Might get them cheaper or something.
Was it?
So they were working. Cheaper. They were working in the kitchen, and one of them fancied Suzanne and kept sort of eyeing her up, and she was winding me up, saying, "Oh,
not eyeing up and down, just eyeing her up."
Anyway, no. So
what was she doing in the kitchen?
No, it's like a pick what you want to eat type buffet, but you have people clearing the tables and that ready for you to come along.
Are they low tables?
And you know, he was just keeping an eye on her.
What did he say though? Was he?
It was Turkish, so I don't know what he was saying.
But he was
little fella, yeah.
Did he? What do you mean a little fella? What do you mean little fella?
Sort of dwarf-like.
What do you mean dwarf-like? He had magic powers, or he was 4 foot? No, what do you mean, Karl?
A little bloke, just like a normal bloke, but small. If you stood him in the desert, you wouldn't know.
But he'd be hot and thirsty. Right, Karl.
You should watch out for the monkeys.
Yeah, underground.
There's underground monkeys.
Look, you can't just say there was a little midget fella who was eyeing up my girlfriend and then leave it. What do you mean? What was happening? This is a story to us. This is much more interesting to us than, and she was deaf, right, and she hit her head. That's much more interesting.
I don't understand how it manifested itself. Did he come over and say something?
No, do you know when, it's like girls know, don't they, when someone fancies them?
What do you mean there was lots of them as well?
Do they? That's worth knowing.
Listen, right, come on, right, so you went to this holiday, yeah?
Yeah.
And you went into the dining room or something?
Yeah, downstairs.
And you looked over.
You thought, this is odd, there's no one serving.
Yeah, and they go,
wait a minute.
Hold on, you looked down, and there was a little waiter.
There was loads of them running around busy.
Why, though? Why did they get
summer?
What do you mean?
Because it was in
loads of them.
summer.
They had more of them
They
on.
come out in summer. They come out in summer.
What do you mean they had more? What do you mean?
Because it's busy, isn't it?
Well, no, but they
But
hibernate in the
why
winter.
were they all midgets?
I don't know, maybe it doesn't heat stunt your growth or something.
No!
Well, they just happened to, maybe it was a thing that they did for tourists or something, I don't know. I just got on with my meal, it was a holiday, do you know what I mean?
God!
Right,
So it's a midget survey. I'm not going to ask any questions.
Right, okay, yeah.
So they're all little fellas running around, and this one always was like, you know, oh, do you want a new serviette? You know what I mean, going out of his way to sort of...
for turning on the charm.
Yeah, he was going out of his way, the others weren't.
Right. I think what was happening is he'd been working with Santa all sort of winter.
Yeah.
It's a sort of little summer break.
This one
He
was
hadn't seen
your
a girl.
waiter, and so he was being polite to you.
Maybe.
But what did Suzanne say then?
Well, she was using it to wind me up.
What was she saying? Oh, he's...
Oh, just like, you know, look,
he may be small, but he's
well,
built like a...
Yeah, he's all man.
so...
Were you jealous of a midget then? You were jealous of him?
It is a bit annoying, isn't it?
Why?
It wouldn't bother me as much now, because I've been with her for ages.
Right.
But at the time, that might have been one of our first holidays, and it's like,
You don't
know,
want everybody
what's going on? I paid for this holiday.
Yeah.
And then you get off with a midget?
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway,
But it doesn't matter, because you got chatted up by a bearded lady, so...
tell you what, no, that's got nothing to do with that.
What were you going to say? What were you going to say?
I was going to say the hotel was half board, and maybe...
Oh, right. I thought you were going to say it's just one of her shortcomings.
So listen, right?
Play a record, Carl.
Right. Badly drawn boy, born again. Right, just get this educating Ricky out of the way. So, Turkey, yeah. So what is this again?
This is educating Ricky, as a tip included.
Right.
Apparently a fellow was on holiday in Turkey. He's just having a normal holiday, weather's good, you know, he's having a good time. And
Waiters are all normal height.
Yeah. He's having his meal. He hears a load of screaming going on in the kitchen.
Hold on.
Has his girlfriend wandered in there?
And they do,
With a stepladder.
Yeah.
the circumcised people in the kitchen, and apparently...
What are you talking about?
Whoa, slow down. We were
Sorry,
sidetracked there for a minute.
what are you talking about? Well, I'm excited about two things at once here. One, they circumcised people in the kitchen. Two, I guessed it was someone losing the end of their knob.
He did, yeah.
I've started thinking like Karl Pilkington.
Extraordinary.
That is amazing.
Apparently it was going on, it wasn't just a one-off either. Well, when I say a one-off, I mean, they did it more than once.
Yes.
Right? And there was, he was there for a week, and apparently the first night it was quiet, and then the rest of the week, every day, it'd be like having his breakfast, or even his lunch, or even his tea.
Yeah.
He'd be doing it all day.
Oh.
You'd be hearing
Lunch and
screams.
breakfast, fair enough, really.
Yeah,
Circumcision at tea time.
Don't do that.
And apparently it's a tradition over there. You can't even make a complaint about it. It's like, well, you should have found out before you come over
See,
it.
I can't believe this is
Sorry,
true.
I'm a little
I
bit
can't
lost.
believe this is
He was in a
true.
restaurant,
Uh,
in a hotel, and there were people having circumcisions in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I'm even worried that we're bordering on the racist here, suggesting that is tradition, that Turkish people cut the end of their cocks off in the kitchen
Yeah.
at meal times. I think you're wrong, Karl.
This just sounds ludicrous, Carl.
No, I don't think it happens everywhere.
Right.
I think this
Just in
certain,
this-
Oh, this hotel.
certain places,
Certain hotels.
certain hotels.
What,
it's-
is it like 2-star?
Yeah.
I don't,
Why did he go to the Foreskin Inn? It was his own fault, wasn't it?
so that's...
Sorry, that's it, is it?
Have they closed?
Sorry, no, wait. That's the story. You educated me, right? Once a fella saw some Turkish people cutting the tip of their knob off in the kitchen. Thanks very much. Thanks very much, Karl. Got any more?
Well, there's things you can learn from it. Either don't go to Turkey.
No!
Don't have calamari when you're over there.
Yeah. Karl, you've done it again.
Well,
You too. I love that one. On XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl. Okay, Karl, one more.
can't we just...
Don't get the ump, just because so far you've come up with nothing. What's the last one?
Give us the teaser clue
It
again.
was, I want to come here in hindsight.
I wouldn't have come here in hindsight.
Yeah.
Right, give me some education. This will be the thing that teaches me something. I can feel it in my bones. Come on.
There's a kid in Kenya. He was messing about with some beans.
Magic.
We guessed that as well.
You did, yeah.
He's fed up because we've guessed his puns, I think.
He put one of them in his ear.
Yeah.
the mum or the dad said, oh, what have you done that for, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll have to take you to the doctors now. So they took the kid to the doctors, and the doctor said, oh, he said, I can get that out, I can sort that out for you. So, he took it out, and the doctor said, right, that's £3.50. And the dad said, I've only got £2.70 on me. And the doctor said, right, well, and he put the bean back in his kid's ear.
I don't know what to say, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean...
Couple of questions from me, very quickly. Are you sure that those were definitely the sums involved, were they?
Well, the equivalent of whatever they deal with in Kenya.
Yeah.
It was the equivalent of, you know...
Oh, so what currency was it, Karl, that you translated into sterling?
I don't know, it was saying in the thing, it said the equivalent of...
£3.15, £2.70.
Did it say that?
Yeah. So
did it say that?
Yeah.
Karl, look at me. Did it say that?
Yeah, it said that was the,
Did it say that?
Yeah. Yeah, it did. it definitely said that. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, it's just like, I suppose, I don't know, I mean, all these things, the idea is, it's not like a lesson, it's like, I'll tell you this, see what you can get from it.
Sure.
So you look at what I've told you already, the knights who said shut your face, that's like...
that's amazing.
That explains itself.
Yeah.
Turkey with the circumcisions in a restaurant.
Yeah. That'll hold me in good stead, yeah, go on.
Don't go there, whatever. Yeah. This one, if you're in Kenya, don't put beans in your ears or something. Doctors
or carry £3.50 or the equivalent of.
It's just the idea that the doctor put it back in his ear. He forced it back in his ear. So is it still there to this day? I mean, is there any update on that story?
Or did he go back with the £3.50?
I presume he either went and got like a second opinion, see if he could get it cheaper.
Right.
From another doctor.
Yeah.
Or he said, right, I'll come back next week.
Yeah.
After I've been paid. Or he saw how the doctor did it and thought, well, I'll have a go at that.
Sure.
I'll get home.
Yeah, for free.
But he never said how it ended.
No.
But, I mean, I apologise for this week, 'cause I mean, I haven't got that much out of it.
You've not been enriched.
Oh.
It was very, very light. Like I say, there was the tug-of-war, there was a fella in Scotland who had a load of tattoos.
Okay. Is that it? Is that the end of the story?
98% covered.
Right.
Just between his toes, he didn't have done.
Why not?
Because it looks stupid. I don't know. It just said 98%, done. What else?
Are you gonna drop the feature? Are you worried?
I'm thinking about it.
Don't drop the feature.
To be honest with you.
Heat have probably written about this already. This has been a classic.
I'm concerned because it's my favourite part of the show. I'm wondering, is there something else we can, what could we do to help you out? Because I hate to see it go.
Well, we can't really, and he's moving this week with the old fella, so that'll take him about 4 days. I'm worried you're not looking in the right, why don't you go to a library?
Quick question for you, Karl. Who is a possible guest on next week's Pilkington?
What are you going to investigate?
I mean, what about your removals man?
Right, listen, if you've had an experience, it can be anything, right? It doesn't have to be you've seen a ghost, it can be that you think you're gonna live forever, or you can, do so, any mentalist out there. If you're slightly, wrong, if there's something wrong with you, just, email Karl. Is it karl.pilkington@xfm.co.uk? Yeah. karl.pilkington@xfm.co.uk.
Would you like to be interviewed on next week's edition of Pilkington?
If you are a mental of any description, just lonely, bewildered, stupid, just something wrong with you, right, and you've seen something that's, interesting to you but absolute bollocks, then please call Karl.
Yeah. Karl.Pilkington.
Don't let that put you off, by the way. Don't think, oh, they're going to take the piss out of me. Just if, in any way, if it's, fodder for us, then call up, because Karl will like you. You'll be friends with Karl, won't you? Quick, the clues. What's the answers? We always do this. We're running out of time.
Don't worry, we've got a tune, and then we'll come back with the answers for Rockbusters. A lot of great prizes.
Alright, we'll have a bit of, cash.
Johnny Cash, one of the prizes we're giving away.
Johnny Cash and Desperado.
That's from his new album, which is a collection of new songs and covers, which is one of the prizes given away on this week's Rockbusters.
And, can we have the clues and the answers and the winners?
Yeah. First one was stop throwing that fruit about.
Stop throwing that fruit about. The answer is...
C.B. That was Chuck Berry.
Oh, of course it was.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
The one that you've worked out, I'll do next. The, God, you make a load of toast with them. That was G. Gorillas.
Gorillas, though, innit?
Gorillas. And the middle one was that Scottish fella's made an error. That was Mystique. Mystique. So...
Did anyone get that?
Extraordinarily, almost all the people who emailed in, and
I'm beginning to think it's us then, because I was thinking mistake, I was thinking muck error, and muck mistake, but mistake.
Yeah. So, do you want to pick a winner?
Yeah, I was going to give the prizes to Amy Massey, who's from Wiltshire, the West Country. Losers down there, probably as weird as you.
Yeah.
So, she's won, and congratulations to her. I'm assuming she's listening online, or maybe, via some kind of...
I think we must have a lot of listeners outside London, because all these are from Norwich and... Have we got any listeners in London?
Places, you know, it's where there's a lot of inbreeding.
Yeah, there's nothing else to do.
Exactly.
Norwich and Wiltshire.
Well, you know, cheers for that, Amy. Well done.
He waved then when he said that.
He did, yeah.
He waved.
He's working.
No, he's working, getting ready for TV.
Of course he is, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think
so is that this week? Can it be arranged for this week?
Yeah, I'll sort it out.
Well, I'm busy this week. I'm moving.
Of course.
So let's talk about that.
And you can do an edition of Cribs. Where you can, they get rock stars to show them around their home.
We're done now. It's finished.
Sorry, was I boring you?
What day are you
it's
moving?
been pretty bad today. It's been pretty bad.
What are you talking about? Hold on, I was talking and you just went anyway. Well, we're still on air. You know we're still on air.
We've run out of time now.
Well, I've run out of time. It's 6 minutes too.
I know, but we've got to finish now.
Why?
Because we always do this.
What? Why are you getting stressed, Carl? You do not cut me off when I'm talking. Whatever you do.
Can I just remind you, Carl, it is Ricky's show.
Yeah.
I know, but as the producer...
Ooh, you've changed, Carl.
Go on.
As the producer, I've got to press this button.
Why though? At 6 minutes too? Tell me why.
Because that's when it finishes.
We've
got to clear net for the next...
On the poster it says 1 to 3. It doesn't say 1 till 2:55.
Right.
You, Carl, you press that button on.
Oh yeah, the smooth indie sound of Richard Ashcroft. The Science of Silence on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, joining me is Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
It was an excellent link, that, Rick. Did you say 9 at one point? 104.9? Did I? Other than that, it was textbook.
Yeah, a desperate attempt at being articulate.
Sure.
But let myself down.
With your
here's the good thing about the boxing thing, because, there's no chance of me, you know, slurring the words. No, I already slurred my words.
Yeah,
so no one, any damage will be totally fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
the doctor's rushing in. I think there might be some kind of concussion. Jane just going, no, that's just the way he talks to me. But, because I'm thinking maybe, did you start the show with that particular kind of, manner, just because obviously a lot of new listeners, I imagine, thanks to the massive poster campaign, and you obviously want to impress them and charm them.
There's a few examples today of irony coming back and biting you.
Yeah.
That seemed like a funny idea at the time, me posing that up, but, Jonathan Ross phoned me up when they first went up and he just said, I've just seen a big poster of a predatory gay.
Yeah, you do look a little bit,
yeah.
Hello, what's your name? Would you like to sit down here?
And then you're in the background. And also, I think the funny thing about having you as a partner, I mean, the only good thing, is that, you know, you look weird and tall, like too freakishly tall and lanky.
Oh, yeah,
but in that one, no, because your background and you're smiling, you don't look as weird as you do in real life, or as freakishly tall. So it sort of ruins it a little bit for me. Look at look.
Pilkington, what is
He's not listening, he's just opening a packet, what are they? McVitie's. See, we should mention them, we get some free ones if anyone at McVitie's are listening, because we're not getting the perks of this.
Nothing.
Sort of.
I'd say I'm not getting anything. I really got in this game for, the ladies, for the money, for the voiceover work, certainly. I'm seeing hide and hair of that.
But, you're not getting the voiceover work, because Jethro's getting all the parts that you might get.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, Rick. Yeah. You were the voice of, what, the drink driving campaign? You sound like a man who was run over in a drink drive incident. I mean,
dear.
It's like you don't drive.
Yeah, but I didn't get any money for that,
You
did I?
drink heavily.
Oh, did I? I can't remember.
It's like, I mean, talk
I don't
about
drive, yeah.
the-
Well, that's
the
good, I
kettle
don't
and
drive.
pot black
No,
and
it said
everything.
don't drink and drive, so I've chosen just
But
to
at least
drink.
I can formulate sentences using the English language, and I'm not getting the voiceover work. What's
the
yours then?
English language of the 14th century.
Well, it's better A English language and English language. Rather than whatever kind of Middle England language you speak, the language of the hobbits.
Alright, Carl.
Alright.
See, you're eating a biscuit. I can't believe it. Are you bored with this already? Do you know what? MTV called me last week. They called me again yesterday and said, when can they come down to do they're coming down next Saturday, by the way, to do a little screen test for you. They're gonna sort of just film you with a little camcorder. You said this. They're gonna film you. Are you alright? Do you want to, are you hungry? Do you want to go out and have a meal? I can't believe you're eating while I'm on air.
No one can hear that.
Do you know who I am?
No one can hear that.
Explain who I am.
Well, that's Ricky Gervais, right? He's made his name on TV.
Yeah.
Okay, he's done any number of corporate gigs, and they pay silly money. So, I mean, this guy's earning, you know, and really, earning beyond his talent. Alright? So,
I think I deserve a little bit more than a little mank eating a biscuit while I'm talking.
Rick Gervais?
Yeah.
Have you won a BAFTA?
Yeah, too.
Alright, so,
Yeah.
just a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl,
Well,
what have you won? What have you won?
I got a bronze certificate for doing a full week at school.
That's great.
It was only a bronze.
What's that then? 3 out of 5 days?
And I got me a little Crusaders badge, if you remember.
What's the little
what?
Crusaders badge?
The Crusaders badge for the religious club. So.
Oh, was that the fellow that you went and played
You had to go
ping pong ball? So they wanted to talk to you about God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a Crusaders badge, did you?
Yeah, that's why I
you
went.
actually
That's
got
why
a
I
badge
joined. That's why I joined.
For the
I
badge?
like the little badge. Did 4 weeks and then packed it in. But we're talking about MTV, right? And I was feeling a bit nervous, wasn't I? About like, you know, the way I look.
Right.
And what have you. And then I watched a bit of Celebrity Big Brother and all the fuss that Mark Owen's getting, and he's not that good looking, is he?
He's very, I want to be Mark Owen's mate. If anyone who knows Mark Owen, or Mark Owen's listening, I want to be his mate.
Yeah,
I think he's brilliant.
I think he's a nice lad, but what I'm saying is, right, all the girls go mad over him.
Yeah.
And he's not that good looking, is he?
Well, no, he's got it is in a certain way, isn't he? That sort of, non-threatening sort of...
Yeah, but he's not stunning, is he? Do you know what I mean?
No, but, no...
Well, what's your definition of a star?
Yeah.
Well,
who do you like?
Someone who you look at and you go, God, they're good
Which
looking.
bloke do you fancy?
What bloke do you think's attractive then?
So if I was into men,
Yeah.
in fact, you can still say a bloke's a good looker without fancying him. And that.
Who do you think is
know what I mean?
attractive?
Probably. I mean, it depends what you're looking for.
No, just look. You think
There's different looks as well.
Of course,
isn't
yeah.
there?
Who would you say was attractive? Would you say was like stunning in your definition?
A good-looking lad.
Yeah.
Good-looking lad. Oh, look at him over there. He's. Ooh.
Do you find, Robbie Williams, do you find him attractive?
Boy next door, look.
No, who do you... Carl, hurry up, because it's, we've only got 2 hours.
Probably. Do you know, I can't think of one offhand. Mark Owen is pretty good looking then, really.
Well, there's not, just name one bloke that you think's an attractive guy. There must be one bloke that you've either met, or that you've, seen in a pub,
Who do you think
on a
is
poster.
Tell you what.
Go on.
Tell you what. Works here. Young Alex Zane.
Alex! Well, we know Alex, maybe we can fix you up.
Oh, I love you, Alex! You got Brilliant. I love that. That's like, a ride song or something. That's my favourite one.
Ride-ish.
Ride-ish. Feeder. Just the way I'm feeling. On XFM 104.9.
Rick, quick question for you.
Go
I'm
on.
thinking, a lot of people maybe are tuning in for the first time because of the advertising campaign.
Sure.
Should we reintroduce Karl again? I know we've done this a few times in the past, but just worried that people are gonna not really kind of get the measure of him.
I'm Ricky Gervais, I'm the one off The Office.
Yeah.
Steve Merchant, he's not the one in The Office, he's not Gareth, some people think he is, he's got a funny, weird West Country accent that actually Mackenzie was affecting for the role. Steve, wrote it with me, he's a tall, lanky fella. Karl is our, sort of, I say producer, but he's the one that pressed the buttons because I was
Dog's
too...
body.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just because I was too big to run the desk.
Yeah.
Like, I used to have to do.
Literally too big, you couldn't get younger.
Yeah. And then we discovered that, he looked a bit like a boring, sort of, alright, yeah, But then when we sort of, poked him with a stick, he came up with, he doesn't realise, but some of I think, some of the funniest
extraordinary things I've ever heard.
Say hello, Karl.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, classics, I think, so far, that have gone straight to the list include, have you ever used a Y front correctly?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You never see an old person
Eating a Twix.
eating a Twix. These are sort of things. He's back on his campaign to get rid of jellyfish. Why is that, Karl?
Oh, did you see the paper yesterday?
Go on.
There's a jellyfish, right? It's about 15 foot long, about 5 foot wide, and there's a fella swimming next to it, and the paper's going, oh, look at this we've found, there's loads of them in Japan.
Yeah.
And it's because the water's getting hot, so it's making jellyfish really big.
Oh dear. How's the campaign going to get jellyfish get rid of them?
What was your point about jellyfish? They don't do anything.
There's no point. They get in the way.
Jellyfish, yeah.
It ruined me holiday. Because I got stung by one.
Yeah.
But you think the same thing about Liverpudlians, and we can't just go around, wiping out things that ruin your
let's
holiday.
do the jellyfish first. And then we'll move on to the Scousers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what they do, and I'm trying to look on the internet. I've been busy this week.
You're jellyfish now, not Scousers.
Yeah.
You don't like
I don't know what they do either.
To sort of try and work out what would happen with the sea if it didn't work, because they say, like, if there's no...
Whoa. See, this is what we're talking about. People who've listened for the first time, they've got to listen to every word you say. You want to find out what would happen with the sea if it didn't work?
If jellyfish weren't in there, do you know what I mean? Because stuff like coral, apparently the sea would be in a right state if you didn't have any coral in it. If fish, do you know what I mean? I always worry about how many fish we're sort of eating. Because you go past...
Sorry?
No, do you know, like, you go in Marks and Spencer's or Selfridges...
There's loads of fish in there.
And there's really fancy stuff that you think, they've killed that, and it looks good on the counter, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But is anyone gonna buy it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a big, like, a shark sat in ice.
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, they've got, like, a lot of fish...
You sure you won't go around the Tate Gallery?
Do you know what I mean?
I've never seen a big shark sat in ice in Selfridges.
They do it. And it's like, you go in the morning, and you can go back at night, and the same shark sat there, and it's...
So you know it's the same shark, do you?
It's the same one.
So, what, same face?
Are you sure he just hasn't lost his mum? And he's just like, he went shopping with her Christmas shopping, and he's just like, he's stranded, he don't know where, he's just waiting.
You know I'm right.
I've never seen a shark in Selfridges.
Well, alright, then say maybe that's one day a week, but on other days they'll have like...
Shark Monday. I think, Selfridges, today at Selfridges is Shark Monday. Yeah.
No, it's just that...
So your point is that there's all these fish not being eaten.
Yeah. So
and they're being killed.
They've taken them out of the sea, no one's eating them.
And you're worried, that the sea's gonna rise, because the more things you take out?
Well, we're just gonna run out.
Because the fish drink it, don't they, and that keeps the water level down.
No, well, you know what I mean, there's stuff that worries me.
You're worried that... Was it you who said that you were worried that... Because, there's sponge in the sea.
Yeah.
But if they took it all away...
No.
Was it... Is that him?
That's a Stephen Wright joke.
Is that Stephen Wright? What was the joke?
Sponges grow in the sea. That kills me. How deep would it be if they didn't? I love the fact that he confused you with Stephen Wright. Who for a living purposely says ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Does that worry you, Carl?
Well, think about that and play a record.
What do you want?
I'd love to, a classic, a beautiful song by Simon & Garfunkel, April Come She Will. April Come She Will, Simon & Garfunkel.
That was in the days when they kept songs short.
Short and sweet. What do you think of that, Carl? As a track?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, you like that, do you?
It's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. That's Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington for you. Coming up on the show, we've got Educating Ricky.
I'm not happy with this.
Oh, really? Because the last few weeks have been genius. What is a drop in quality, is there, of the education of me?
Well, it's just, like I said, I've wasted a lot of time this week searching on the web, right?
You wasted a lot of time searching on the web because you come up with things that aren't true. Why don't you look in books and verified sort of like journals?
The web is the new book, though, isn't it?
No.
The web is the new book.
That's the new
wrong.
Yeah.
Well, so I've been searching, there's hardly anything. I spoke to you in the week. About Monday or Tuesday.
What did you say? There's nothing happened this week in the world.
There's nothing going on. There was a new car wash that you can put dogs in.
There was a car wash you can put dogs in.
That's the only thing that's happened in the world.
And that and the jellyfish, and we've covered that. So, so we've got, I've managed to find some bits, but it's not that good. Rockbusters.
Yeah. Oh, we've really G'd up, so that's coming up, the thing that's not that good.
Yeah. Look forward to that.
Yeah.
Can you just quickly tell us about the car wash with the dog in it?
I don't know what's the
that
story.
didn't make the top three.
I didn't waste that much time on it, to be honest.
What did it say?
It just said, how busy are you? Have you got a dog? How about saving some time? There's some car wash out. It's not car wash, it's dog wash. You take it down there, put your coin in, put your dog in, and it comes out clean. See, there's nothing in it.
Is this called a bath, isn't it?
No, but it's like a machine.
Right.
There's a machine. But that's why I didn't pick it. So we've got some of them bits coming up. Rockbusters.
Yeah. Rick, can I just explain some of the prizes we got here for Rockbusters? Because I just want you to try and picture, if you would, the kind of XFM listener who'd particularly want this collection of gifts. You've got the best chill out album ever. This is the one, as I said before, that's largely made up of songs you may have heard in adverts.
Sure.
So you've got the Volvo advert on there.
Yeah.
You've got the T-Mobile. T-Mobile.
Brilliant.
That's on there. So that's Roy Cobb. So look forward to that. Yeah, again, just imagine which XFM listener is particularly looking forward to Top of the Morning with Terry Wogan. His 2-disc set there. You've got, it starts with, we've got the Bangles on there, we've got Billy Joel, River of Dreams, Shine On by Mr. Christopher. So just look forward to that.
Oh dear.
We got the Only Fools and Horses last year's Christmas special. We gave one of those away last week, but still more to shift.
Do I spy a little free
Yes, there's a little free three-wheel trotter independent trading three-wheel car, so that's there as well. So as I say, if you like fairly mediocre comedy,
little Jonathan Ross's face there
on the back, and maybe you also want Jerry Halliwell's Body Yoga DVD, Rick. So
sure,
that as
well that's good quality.
And then just a few token XFM kind of things. We've got the Manic Street Preachers DVD and the U2 best of.
And tell me, Steve, how do the lucky listeners win these?
Rick, I'm glad you've asked. What they do is they email in with the answers to Rockbusters, which is a quiz.
Hold on, though. How do they email if we don't know the email address?
Rick, again, thanks for asking. Thanks for flagging that up. Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk. That'll be coming up shortly. Try and get into the mindset of Karl Pilkington. A lot of people have been trying to email in answers, trying to think through kind of logically, or maybe based on the rules that they've picked up over the years.
Or when he says it in a cryptic clue, they believed him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you've just got to think more like a mentalist to try and win.
First of all, right, the prizes that I source every week.
Explain yourself.
What I said to you we're doing between now and Christmas, because there's just a few weeks till Christmas.
Right.
I thought I'd make up sort of family packs.
Okay.
That the winner can have something, say like, there's a nice U2 album in there, right? Yeah. So the winner might want to keep that, but they can get rid of the Jerry Yoga thing.
They can give Only Fools Nurses to Uncle.
To the dad.
To the dad, yeah. I think the mum would love the Terry Wogan.
Yeah. The yoga for your sister.
Right.
Yeah. And all that.
So that's what you thought through, was it? Or was it that there was a load of junk in the office?
Or did you scoop them up with 2 arms and it's as much as you could carry down the corridor?
Yeah. A little bit of that. But, But
okay.
that's me workings on why you've got all that.
Okay. Brilliant. That's excellent.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
That's coming up.
And me mum sent some more.
What we also needed there is
he's got a letter from his mum.
My mum did some more Rockbusters for us.
I reckon they're secretly listening, Karl. They've said they're not listening, but I reckon they are. Does that worry you?
Well, let's play a record and let's hear your mum's Rockbusters.
Bit of Warren G.
Oh, well done, mate. Well done.
I hope Nate's involved.
Nate Dogg? Yeah. I hope so.
But you can't be in
Nirvana, You Know You're Right on XFM 104.9. I had to meet the doctor for this fight thing in the week, and it's the one who's off Big Brother.
Psychiatrist.
Yeah, and but she's a medical doctor and she's sort of big in the boxing sort of world as well. And one of the tests, I had to do a punch test. The other test I had to do was to get in the bod pod.
Really? The same as Fat Swallow?
Yeah, yeah.
And he wiped it down since he was
yeah, and I was a little bit nervous, and
so what does this do? What exactly does it do?
What it does, you do a displacement sort of calibration with a known volume.
Alright, just bear in mind that Karl's listening, so if you want to explain that in...
What it does, Karl, is it works out your density.
Okay,
right? Through displacement, it knows how much what your volume is for the air displaced, right, in this thing, and
in layman's terms, what does it tell you?
Would it work?
It tells you. It knows what muscle weighs. It knows what fat weighs. It knows your average density of your skeleton, what height you have. So it works out from your volume and your density. It can work out, therefore, probably what percentage of that is muscle, fat, bone, etc.
What if you put in one of those,
Oh, God.
No, go on then.
No, go on, what were you gonna ask?
What would it do if you put in one of those pug dogs?
You put in one of those, what?
What do you mean, what would it do?
What, like on Ricky's lap?
No.
Do you know those dogs that are all wrinkly and have got too much skin for the skeleton? Yeah. And it's all like caving in and folding over? Yeah. Would the machine go, well, we know what you are, so it's alright? Or would it say, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Do Do you know what I mean? Like last week when you were laughing at me about...
Why do you want to confuse machines? Do you remember when he put in Y to a computer search engine to try and confuse it? I love the fact, I want the computer to come back, why not, and your head explode. I mean, I love the idea that you're trying to, I mean,
it's better than what I thought you were going to say, which is, what if you put a fly in there?
Well, I heard about that. I said don't let a fly in, yeah. But anyway.
So anyway, what percentage of you is muscle and what percentage of you is fat?
I'm 25% fat.
25% fat?
Yeah.
Now what's Rick Waller?
And most of me is muscle. Bone density in that. Rick Waller was 60% fat, which I've looked into it, and apparently is exactly the same as a pork scratching.
Wow, that's extraordinary.
So he is,
yeah,
the equivalent of a 30-stone
giant pork scratching.
Yeah.
So is 20% fat, is that good or bad?
No, 20%'s alright, 25's over.
Right.
Men, healthy, fit, lean men, about 18, 20, I'm 25.
So you're a healthy, fit, lean man?
No, 18, 20, I'm 25.
Oh, you're 25?
Yeah,
right.
So I'm 5%, over. And a boxer, that is in peak, you know, with the, basically, you've seen the ones, they just look, you know, like Bruce Lee. Yeah. They're 8%.
8%, wow.
Fat. So,
is that good for you?
Well, I don't think it's that bad for you. I mean, you know, you need a bit of fat.
Bruce Lee supposedly, I mean, there's sort of many rumours, I'm sure you're fascinated by them, Karl, conspiracy theories surrounding Bruce Lee's death. Yeah. One of which is that his body was, it's at the peak of physical perfection. He had an aspirin because of a headache. And it reacted with his, because just the impurities in the aspirin killed him. Yeah. Yeah,
because it's sort of like quite interesting and a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's fact.
He'll have,
Well, are you aware of the fact that supposedly he actually cheated death, he actually faked his own death so he could work undercover for the Hong Kong police? Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Do you believe that as well? Not so convinced.
Dunno.
Do you believe he could kill a man by putting all his energy into a trembling hand and touching him and every blood vessel burst?
Well, it's just another form of trickery, innit? I mean, you met up with Darren, didn't you?
Met up with Darren Brown, yeah.
Darren Brown.
Yeah, he's incredible. Yeah, he's probably the Britain's best illusionist, if you don't mind me saying.
Yeah.
You can put that on a poster if you want.
Tell you what, though, right? Changing the subject a bit. We were talking about a fly getting in that pod.
Yeah.
Read in the week, when I was searching for stuff to educate, you know, the Educate Ricky section. Yeah. Which we will be
Do you want to answer that phone, because it's annoying me? Who's phoning?
I don't know, it's obviously someone who doesn't know that you're talking at the moment, so leave it.
Let him finish the point, let him finish the point.
It could be,
leave it.
It could be the head of...
Leave it.
Yeah, go on.
Could be the head of XFM?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so scared.
No.
We must
I won't be embarrassing him. I going, don't call me when I'm working.
Nice. Right. Fighting against the machine. High five.
Yeah.
Raging against the machine.
Anyway, yeah, right. We were talking about flies getting in a pod. And do you know, like, how, a Barbie doll, if it was real, it wouldn't be able to work. Do you know what I mean? A Barbie doll, if a woman had the
proportions.
Yeah, she wouldn't be able to tie her shoelaces up and stuff, because her legs are too long for her back and all that. Flies, scientists can't work out how they fly.
It's a bee.
It's a bee. It's a bee, not a fly.
No, a fly as well.
No.
A fly is, apparently its body is like too big for its wings, and they still can't work it out.
Yeah.
How
which in your mind says what? Something spooky going on?
They have worked out that it's the fact that what they do, the wing actually beats a ridiculous about 150 times a second, so it displaces air.
Yeah.
So they have.
I know what you mean. It's incredible that it can fly because it's got such small wings.
Yeah. All right.
And it's a bee, not a fly.
So, yeah, but other than that, good point.
Bowie.
Another classic. Be My Wife off the Low album. David Bowie. David Bowie.
It's a cracker.
Be My Wife off a Low.
Very good indeed.
Yeah.
Rick, you know my frustration with the homeless?
Yeah.
You know they wind me up. Walking through Soho last night, I saw a homeless fella reading a book.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this, if he's got the wherewithal to read a book, right, he's obviously, you know, he wants to keep himself occupied, his mind educated.
Yeah.
My point is, why not, instead of reading a book, have a quick look through the job vacancies section of the Evening Standard, or maybe just take the time to fill in some kind of application form for, you know, maybe, you know, a job or something like that.
Confusing there was is the ability to read with the ability to house yourself.
Well, no, because what I'm saying is, it seems to me he's obviously got a certain, you know, grasp psychologically of, you know, his way.
They're
He's
not
like-
mental, people who haven't got
Well,
houses.
a lot of them are, Rick. I've seen
a
them
lot of 'em
dancing and shouting and screaming, you know, and pissing in doorways and stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
going
again, you're
crazy.
confusing homelessness with trampiness.
Well, again, you know,
Some
Rick,
people just have
listen,
left home and they haven't got a...
Gervais, I'm not a sociologist.
No.
Sorry if I can't spot all the clever distinctions that
Yeah.
a trained expert such as yourself can.
Well-
all I know is, there was a fella reading a book.
Well, you know the ones that have got beards
Right.
and sing little tunes and they
They're my
smell of
favourite.
piss.
They're my favourite. They
Right?
are brilliant.
Yeah,
They are
and
funny.
they're drinking special brew.
Yeah.
Special one. That's an alcoholic tramp,
Yeah,
right?
they are.
You know
They're
the ones that sit with a dog or sell big issue. They just haven't got their own place.
Right.
Do you see?
Okay. Well,
Okay.
again, I mean, because it is tricky finding a place, I know, because I had to move house recently, and it's a nightmare. I had to get, like, estate agents on it, and I had to go and see a load of places, and I was doing a job as well, you know, I still managed to fit it in. This guy's just lounging around on the street,
Yeah.
so I'm surprised
He should be able
can't
to find
the time-
loads of places to live.
I'm surprised he can't find the time to visit a couple of different residences.
Yeah.
Because there's some pretty cheap ones, you know, if you go kind of a bit farther out of London. Maybe it's because he wants to live in the Soho area, and frankly, it's expensive.
What I'm confused about is the number of homeless people that recognise me and say they enjoy The Office. They've got to be watching it through Dixon's window.
I think that's probably demographic that's sort of hung over from some of your previous TV work.
The 11 o'clock show.
Yeah, you know, or stuff like that.
The
or,
ones that used to
the
slip by
checkouts. Yeah, exactly.
Tramps and the French for me.
Exactly, yeah. Some of the weirdos.
Sure.
Or maybe sort of people who watched, you know, have watched the show and then have fallen on hard times since then, I don't know. Unless it's not necessarily linked, I mean,
No, I
possibly.
wouldn't have thought so. Carl's lost in this conversation. Carl, we boring you then?
No, it's just, I don't know, it's a bit tight, innit?
What?
Because it's like, I sometimes think it could have been me. When I see homeless people and that,
Yeah.
I just think, you know, I nearly killed a man once. It could have totally changed my life.
You want to, you want to slow down there. Just want to back up for a second. Just back up for a second.
No,
You didn't
like
kill the man.
that time when I was in Wales, right, and I picked up a big piece of slate and chucked it off the cliff.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And it nearly hit a fella.
Yeah.
Right, in that split second, if he would have decided to sort of go and pick up a shell that was closer to the sea, it could have hit him,
Yeah.
and it would have killed him, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sat here today.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's just all about luck, innit?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, don't know, that's about it, really. That's
That's the point. That's the political.
What was the point again? That you there for the grace of God to
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's saying, you know, you should count our blessings because, you know, anything can happen.
Yeah,
You never
sure,
know what's round the corner.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
what-
if
that's what I'm
Karl hadn't
saying.
met us, he'd still be in that little room making jingles. Now, he is a respected household name.
Do you think he packed the book before he left home to become homeless? He thought, right, I need the clothes, I'm gonna need the cigarettes, I'm gonna need the dog and the piece of string, and I probably gonna need some reading literature as well, because I'm gonna get pretty bored, like, just sitting in the street
Yeah.
begging all day.
Maybe it's
So
one of
maybe
these-
I should take, I wanna
or-
catch up on, some of the stuff I haven't read, you know.
Or maybe it's one of those themed holidays. You know those trendy middle-class people?
Right.
They go on, like, the adventure holidays and danger holidays. Maybe the latest one, amongst sort of, like, yuppie types,
Yeah.
is, homeless holidays.
Exactly, yeah.
They pay, like, £10,000.
Exactly.
And they really
They get a
the
little area of
experience.
sort of the streets of Soho.
And people come up to them and abuse them.
Yeah.
They're all
Shout
paid,
at
they're
them,
all
yeah,
actors.
yeah. They get beaten up at night when they're sleeping under a bridge.
They, you know, they get to try a really safe sort of form of heroin.
Sure, yeah. That
they-
sounds brilliant. Now that's worth marketing.
themed
Rick.
holidays.
Themed holidays like that. You could have homeless.
Yeah.
You could have like rent boy holidays. Find out what it's like to be a rent boy for 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then, they have to
And make a little bit of money on the
They
side.
have to wean them off it.
Exactly,
At the
yeah.
end, they go, no, don't keep sucking it.
You can stop
You're finished now. You're a bank manager again. I've just got the taste for it, to be honest.
Can that happen? No, it's worth knowing if that is a possibility. that's worth knowing.
Carl's worried. What? We haven't said anything.
Haven't said anything. We're just
We
talking
haven't
about
said
possible
anything
holidays for
wrong,
people to
Carl.
have.
There's be no complaints. We haven't said anything. The words suck, as far as I can work out. No, it's not a banned word on the radio.
Is it Rockbusters time?
Okay. Yeah, Rockbusters.
Well, let's play a tune, then we'll come back with Rockbusters.
What do you want
Are we
to
going to hear your mums before we have
Best
yours?
holiday I've ever had.
I'll get a taste for it. That's a new American band called My Morning Jacket from the Sweat Bees EP. That's called Lowdown.
Like that.
Yeah, nice.
It's good, yeah. I brought in some adverts, my favourite adverts to play.
Really?
Yeah, they're all new ones as well.
We got those now?
Can
we hear them?
Do you want to do them now or keep
Oh.
them listening
No,
and play them later?
No, do them now.
Yeah?
Oh, they are good.
XFM indeed, Steve.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm just fiddling around here.
What are you looking at?
Well, I'm just looking at some of the emails, and if I can find it, I got an absolute treat from you.
Go on.
Dickie Anderson.
Is he,
Anders, he's emailed in
Richard Anderson, our biggest fan.
Biggest fan. He said, Dear Ricky, sorry for not tuning in recently, only I've been busy watching a puddle evaporate. Glad to hear you haven't tinkered with the show's winning formula by trying to introduce any quality into it. That's from Richard Anderson. So, good to have Dickie Anderson listening again.
Oh,
because he just keeps us on our toes, you know.
Yeah.
And, good work, Rich. Thanks for that.
I wonder what he looks like.
Dickie Anderson?
Yeah.
I think he's a good-looking guy. For some reason, I've always imagined him as being slightly older, with maybe a beard.
Oh, no,
Do you know
I
what I
think,
mean? Like
I
a
think
kind
of
of-
him, I think of him sort of cords and now and sweater.
Definitely cords.
I think he looks like, maybe the Proclaimers.
Yeah, but
Right.
again, with a beard or at least a moustache.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm seeing some kind of facial hair.
And he's sort of like, he's sort of, he likes the Cure and the Swiss Nut, but, he snarls at everything. He thinks everything's puerile.
Yeah.
I bet he prefers Radio 5.
Do you think Radio 5?
Yeah. 5, yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
4.
I bet he's a real music snob as well. I bet there's certain bands, it's like rubbish. The Blazing Squad, rubbish. All pop music, rubbish. Britney Spears, rubbish.
Is this defamation of character?
He slagged you off enough times, Rick, and the show. I don't know if
And I'm
that's
only
sort of-
saying it's my opinion, I
Exactly.
imagine, so,
Yeah, I mean,
you
we
know.
don't know. I mean, you know, he could be a lovely guy.
To be honest, I'm getting to like him.
What I like about Richard is he's willing to say what he thinks.
Well, it's more than that.
He's a bit like Eminem.
No, it's more than that. He actually hits on the truth too often
Yeah.
for my liking.
Yeah, well,
I mean, this is a shoddy show with very, very little to offer.
You got to remember though, it is a bronze-winning show. We did win a bronze award at the Sonys last year. One of the most coveted of the awards.
Yeah,
bronze.
in my opinion, the bronze is slightly better than the gold.
Well, a lot of people don't win the bronze, Rick. You got to remember that there's not many people who
you see,
win the bronze.
gold, just, you know, gold's got no intrinsic value. It's just a currency, and in my opinion, bronze is better
Well, yeah,
in a way. Carl, Rockbusters, your mum, Carl.
Yeah, no,
Listen.
we did get a bronze, but this year we introduced Rockbusters. Things will be changing. So,
Hey, we didn't introduce Rockbusters, Carl. Please don't tar us with that brush.
Yeah,
You introduced
and also, do you remember the show that got that bronze was the show with the complaint that was upheld by the radio authority?
Was it really?
Yeah, the show that got the award and was nominated was the one with the only upheld complaint we've ever had.
Do you think if we hadn't discussed that particular subject for quite as long, we could have got the silver?
I think it was the mention of, and I say this meaning male birds,
Yeah.
of all the cocks.
Right.
Yeah. But do you think the Sony committee was going, I enjoyed the show, if they hadn't mentioned cocks, meaning birds,
Yeah, bee-birds, yeah.
I'd have given it the silver.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Carl getting nervous.
Rockbusters then.
Yeah.
Chance to win all that stuff Steve was talking about before.
Uh-huh.
We give initials and a cryptic clue, and it's a band, and there's 3 of them, and you email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Yeah.
Right? Do you want some of me mums?
Well, I think before you give us your own, we should hear your mum's, just to sort of set the tone and for
Well,
people
she
to get their heads around the whole
She
idea.
sent some more, they're still not that up to scratch. First one, this group are nice on toast.
Marmalade?
Jam.
Yeah.
Which one?
Jam.
Okay. Marmalade would have worked.
Marmo's just as good, yeah.
Yeah.
This man liked his wine.
This man liked his wine.
Dean Martin.
What?
So no cryptic clue, just a man who drinks.
Yeah. But that, isn't there like a myriad of rock stars
I
and
was
pop
thinking
stars who
it.
like booze?
I liked his wine!
I don't think anyone would have ever got that.
That's fantastic! This man liked his wine, Dean Martin. This man liked his golf. Oh, clubby chip face? No, Bunker Smith. Bing Crosby, yeah. He liked his golf. Yeah, that's genius. This man
walked
liked his
phrases.
wine.
Just a couple more. Hope you're not speeding when you meet these. The police.
Oh, it's great!
And,
Oh!
is there any other good ones? Sounds like these lads work for the hospital.
The porters.
Say that again?
Sounds like these lads, work for the hospital. Jerry and the pacemakers.
Right.
So we'll
Carl, I have to say, if there was ever, in the future, any doubt that you were your mother's son, that would pay that. Believe me, you are a chip off the old block.
Well, let's should we have a little record and then educating Ricky and Rockbusters? So the show really starts.
Of the prizes. Jerry Halliwell's yoga video, DVD, I think it's the latest one in that particular series. So if you've already worked yourself up to, you know, you're looking pretty good, but there's still a little bit of, flab maybe around the arse or breast area, then Jerry can help you out there. Yeah. We got, Only Fools and Horses, this is the Christmas special from last year. Jonathan Ross was giving that one on his morning show this morning. I don't know if they're just trying to get rid of him. Top of the morning to you from Terry Wogan, that's his, 2 CD.
I'm sure they were giving that away as
You've got the likes of Love Theme from Top Gun, obviously Take My Breath Away by Berlin, that's on there. What else we got? We got the Pretenders, you mentioned them earlier. Alison Moyet's on there. Annie Lennox featuring Paul
I still call her Alf.
Loaf is on there. I'm talking to the meat variety. Obviously. Miss Tina Turner on Silent Wings. There's an incredible selection there. Perfect for saying mum or, a deaf aunt. That's the Manic Street Preachers Greatest Hits DVD.
Anyway, how's your aunt, the one who farted for 5 minutes, Carl?
Also got the U2,
not been that well.
What's up with her?
The best chill out album ever.
Is she alright?
Yeah, she'll be alright.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so that's the prizes up for grabs.
So we were having 2 conversations there. I think we're a little bit too relaxed in this show.
Sure.
I mean, people tuning in will just think, do those 3 people know they're going out live? Or is that a conversation, like, between the records? It's... do you know what I mean?
It probably sounds like, the record is playing. We think the record's playing and we're just chatting.
Oh dear, what we got, Carl? What we got? Carl.
One opportunity.
Carl, come on. Eminem, Lose Yourself. Back on form there.
Absolutely, it's a good tune.
Good. On XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant. Karl Pilkington, more importantly. Carl, come on then.
Right.
I need some education.
It's Rockbusters.
I know, but I need education. I need some education.
I know, but we've promised some Rockbusters.
Educating Ricky, I will be ditching before Christmas.
Why?
It will be going.
Why? Because there's nothing out there.
It's just struggling. I was thinking on the way in today, I can either do, doing something more with Steve, because we've done, like, the Ricky angle. Either we can do,
educating Steve?
No, either like a bit of a call my bluff type thing, but it's like a con merchant, and I have to, like, trick you.
Okay.
Con
So
merchant,
I'm the
I like
con
it.
and you're the merchant. And then, I was thinking something that you just do some work, and you have a moan for a bit. Okay. And that's a bit, that's like a wine merchant. You just like whine on about something.
Again,
the pun comes first with you, doesn't it?
You've worked out that first.
Yeah.
That's like, I told you I've come up with a couple of sitcoms for me.
Go on.
One is I've got an imaginary navy called Merchant's Navy. I've got a navy in it. And the premise is I've got a navy. Yeah. And another one is I live in...
And that's as far as he's got as well.
Yeah, that's all I've come up with. If you've got any ideas there, Carl, then that'd be much appreciated. Another one is I live in quite a salubrious part of North London, and that's called Merchant of Little Venice. And I live in Little Venice. Again, I don't know what happens. But, any ideas, Carl? You know,
I've got one where I play an Italian waiter, and it's called Shut Up a Gervais.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
That's the one we're working on now, actually, to follow up with The Office.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do something with that.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we've got Rockbusters.
Okay.
So, these are mine. Number 1. You've been dunking that for too long. That's LB. Right, so...
Oh god, that's too easy. That's too easy.
I always tease them, don't I? Give them something to make them feel like they're gonna win something, and then I hit them hard with a tricky one.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah, go on.
So, the first one, so that's the cryptic clue for a band or an artist. Their initials are LB, and the cryptic clue, you've been dunking that for too long.
Yeah.
So that's the first one. Second one, you won't be able to play that game in this pub, because the table ain't big enough. Right? Could be an old artist, could be a new one, could be a band.
What's the initials?
FD. Alright? FD. You won't be able to play that game in this pub, the table ain't big enough. And the final one, well, I've had a rubbish day, so I'm happy it's over. Right?
Yeah.
That's the third cryptic clue, the initials being GK. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I've had a rubbish day, so I'm happy it's over. They're the 3 clues. All you gotta do is email in ricky.gervais.
That's great! That's genius.
Which one?
The last one.
Alright.
That is genius. That's the best one you've ever done.
Right. Ricky.gervais.
That's great. I don't know the middle one.
.co.uk.
Okay.
Email in them 3 answers, you win the stuff. We have still got Educating Ricky.
Go on, let's have one.
No, I'll give you the titles.
Give me the titles, yeah, got it.
Right, you've got 3 bits of info that's gone on in the world, or
possibly.
sort of sort of, information.
Older times? Never go further back than the 17th century, do we?
Well, no, let's make it clearer. There's 3 bits of information that people have put on the net. Whether or not they're true, different issue.
And that he still gets it a little bit wrong in translation, and sort of adds bits to it. Yeah, go on.
So we've got,
I love it when he plays out those historical dialogues. You know, it's like the 15th century where he goes, so anyway, a bloke says to himself, I'll tell you what I'll do.
So the horse isn't happy. Yeah, go on.
Right, so the 3 that you've got to pick from, you've got, get your kit on, we're off down the butcher's.
Let's get your kit on, we're off down the butcher's,
We've got, wash up with you.
Wash up with you.
Wash up with you!
And, the last one I couldn't really think of a good title for, so it's just, why don't they just get a diary or some paper or something?
We've got to make this into a book. This has got to be a book next to Christmas.
God.
Chapter headings.
Oasis, Live Forever on XFM 104.9. Right, we're in the swing of things. It's mine and Steve's favourite bit of the whole show. This is what we do this show for now. Educating Ricky.
Yeah.
Go for it, Carl.
You said that learning can't be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, I'll go for the one, what's the one about the butcher, going down the butcher shop?
You've got, get your kit on, we're off down the butcher's.
Yeah.
You going for that one?
Yeah.
Well, do you know the saying, don't let the cat out of the bag?
Yeah.
Do you know what it means?
Yeah, well, don't give away a secret.
Right. Well, do you know how it came about?
No.
Well, ages ago. Before, like...
Ages ago. 17th century?
Yeah, before, like...
Yeah, 17's good. Yeah.
Before, like, you know, proper butchers and Dewhursts and supermarkets and that, you used to get these blokes who sold meat. Right.
Butchers they were called then, I think.
Yeah, but the difference was they didn't stay in the same place, they moved about. Right, so they'd turn up on a street corner.
Right.
And he'd have, like, loads of carrier bags of, like...
Carrier bags?
Yeah, with meat in and that, and people would
Plastic
be like,
carrier bags?
Yeah,
well,
with
whatever.
mobile butcher on them.
Yeah.
Right, so,
And an email address.
Yeah, go on.
people went, right, yeah, I need some meat. Right, so they'd go up to this bloke and say, what have you got? And he'd say, well, I've got a, you know, you can have a bag full of pig, or you can have, whatever, a bag full of chicken, whatever.
Yeah.
And they'd go, yeah, how much? They go, oh, you know, call it a fiver, whatever.
Yeah.
And, they'd buy them, and to make more money, they didn't always fill the bag with what they said was in it.
Oh, I thought that might be the case.
Right?
Yeah.
So what
Did
they
they
used
ever
to
put
do...
cats in there?
Yeah.
But I don't see what...
Okay, so sometimes they would put a cat in the bag
They'd put a
and
cat
pretend
in
it
the
was
bag.
chicken or whatever else.
Yeah, so
Why was a cat any cheaper than a chicken?
because cats are wandering around the streets, aren't they? Chickens aren't. So they'd get a chicken, they put a chicken on the top so that when they look in it, they'd go, yeah, that's alright. Got a bag full of chicken. They'd get home to make the dinner.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, what are we having tonight? And they'd go, well, you'll never guess. And they'd have like, you know, well, you can have a chicken leg. And, you know,
But
we've
it wouldn't be, it would be a
we've got-
cat. They'd have to defrost a pizza.
Yeah.
Did they mind that they were eating cat then? In those days?
He didn't say. He just was saying about the saying, don't let the cat out of the bag. It's like, you know, if they see that, they're gonna go mad.
I'm mildly disappointed with this story. It's alright if it's true, but yeah, there's something about it, it's just... I want to know more. He always leaves it... Is it Carl doesn't quench your thirst for knowledge, he creates more. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Well, yeah, he's like the pot noodle of information.
Yeah, do you know, he never... I want to go...
I'm not nourished by it.
It's like if for every fact he tells me, there's 10 others that spring up that I have to get clear.
Well, so it was the people that were doing this, it was the dodgy butchers that coined this phrase. Were they saying to each other, don't let the cat out of the bag? I.e., what I mean by that, Jack, is, don't let them see the cat.
Yeah.
What we've stuffed in there.
Yeah.
Dodgy butcher, that's another phrase, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's the first one.
Is that a euphemism, or is that dodgy butcher?
As his meat delivered round the back.
Sure.
So, that's that one. So let's get your kit on.
What does that mean?
It's a euphemism for homosexuality.
Okay. And meat, presumably, in that means different things.
It doesn't. It's a word that is also a male
would
bird.
it mean chicken or cat necessarily in that context? Or well, I suppose it could.
Yeah. Look at him. Karl looks at you like a cat.
Yeah.
Whenever we leave him behind, if we don't talk, like, straight at him and let him see our lips moving, and it's, you know, monosyllabic and very sort of sound. Look, he's lost in that conversation there. He just drifted off, didn't you, Karl?
No, I just was also thinking on animals and that, something else I was gonna use.
Go on.
Was,
This isn't a radio show, is it? I just suddenly caught myself. This is nothing.
I told you that before. It's been bad today.
No, but I mean, it's the way, this casual way that it's like we almost have no regard for our listener. And I'm not proud of that. I just don't know what to do about it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how to do this properly. I mean, we're just chatting here. I mean, it's only Anderson who's seen through us. And that surprises me, that more people haven't. I mean, what are the figures like? Do people listen to this show?
I'll find out for you.
You keep saying that.
But, yeah, there's this parrot. And, apparently it lives
I mean, Rick, it's unique, if nothing else. I mean, when you wake up with Woken tomorrow, you're not even gonna hear him start a line with there was this parrot.
Go on, there was this parrot, yeah, go on.
And it can talk and that. Someone's obviously, you know, taught it out how to speak and that. And, it flew away. And it's living in this church. Right? And, people are at the church doing hymns and that. And then
Trouble's brewing.
In between the
If that
hymns.
parrot was owned by an old miner who used to swear a lot,
Well,
then the vicar is
what was
going to be really annoyed. That vicar, that vicar's gonna go on.
I just hope it stays quiet, Rick, during the vicar's sermons.
Yeah, go on.
have you read it?
No, go on. Have you read it?
No,
go on,
no,
go on.
because that's what happens, right?
Go on, tell us, Karl.
During the hymns, it's sort of effing and jeffing and stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone's like going, oh, you know, it's quite funny, really, you know, it doesn't know what it's doing. Everyone's having a laugh.
Yeah.
But it's causing a havoc at funerals.
When did this happen?
Not years ago.
John was a much-loved man. He was a wanker!
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was another story.
What can you say about Uncle John?
Bollocks.
Oh, Karl, I love the fact that when you look at things, you go, that's interesting. A parrot that swears at funerals.
That'd be a nice
And it stays with you. You see, for a simple man, you retain an awful lot of knowledge. It's just all rubbish.
It's all
Do you know
useless.
what I mean? If you just replaced all this rubbish with good stuff, you'd be an intellectual.
Yeah.
Really. Because, I mean, your retention is fantastic.
Yeah. So
So I lose you again there, did I?
So
Was it the word retention?
we've still got, Wash Up With You.
yeah. Should we play a record and do Wash Up With You?
Yeah, we'll play a bit of Aqualung then.
Aqualung! Alright, that's Aqualung. Good time's gonna come, innit? Right, Karl, come on, educating Ricky. So, don't let the cat out of the bag, that's where that, comes from. Comes from a crafty butcher. Right, go on then.
So the next, little headline is, Wash Up With You.
Wash Up With You, go on.
You wanna know about that?
Yes.
It's a survey that they did. This week.
They.
Yeah. Some university did some survey.
Brilliant.
Did a world test on washing up.
Yeah.
And, each country were given 140 pots to clean. Brits were the quickest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turkey were the slowest at washing up.
The Turks.
It's not because the little fellas that work in the kitchens with no, is it?
They can't reach.
Spain were the cleanest, and the, Germans were pretty good as well, so.
I don't know where to start with this. Honestly, Steve, I don't know where to start with that. Look at his face.
It was really light, right? We've had the parrot, right? These are things that I found the parrot. Right, I've told you about the dog in the car wash.
Right, you didn't tell me about that. You said there's a car wash for a dog. That's all you told me.
Yeah,
The
but
parrot, you said there's a parrot. What? It's a problem at funerals.
Yeah.
That's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. Do you understand?
And,
They used to eat cats.
what else have we got? There's an elephant in India with sore feet.
Why?
There's an elephant in India with sore feet.
No, I'm interested. Why?
Tap dancing.
Why?
Yeah, I didn't write that
He's
much down
trying to
about it.
break Roy Castle's record. He's still going.
Go on. What is it? Think.
It's an elephant, and it was really old. It was about 76.
Right.
And it had sore feet, because it's old, and
They don't make stair
and
lifts
the
that big, do they?
roads are bad and that.
Yeah, go
so, they said, what are we gonna do? And the town was like, oh, you know, we're used to seeing it around, it's part of the thing, you know, we don't want it to have sore feet.
Yeah.
So they got some slippers made for it. And it had like a picture of the elephant looking happy wearing some slippers.
I love him! I love Carl, his world! Think of it, where did you see this picture?
That was on the internet.
Right.
That's a lesson, though, for any elephants listening. You know, don't wear stilettos to work every day, because you can do your feet in.
So that
But don't elephants have really bad memories?
no, they're really good memories.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good then. No, I just thought they'd forget where they put them. I thought there was something about elephants having bad memories and that.
It goes on, where's my slippers?
Yeah.
I'm sure I left them by the Tesco.
So, sorry, there's an elephant walking around wearing slippers?
Yeah, that's in
What kind
India.
of slippers? Those sort of old man ones with the sort of checkered
Well, round
design.
ones, I imagine.
Yeah.
Big round ones.
There was that going on.
And is it happening? Is it happier? I mean, does it feel
No,
more
it
satisfying?
looked it.
Did it look? How can you tell? How can you tell for elephants, please?
What else is there? There was a woman who's had a breast insured for 150 grand.
Right.
Okay.
Okay,
Any
it's
more
what?
information there?
What? Third party fire and theft?
Don't know, it had a picture of her with them, like, you know, out. I just thought, yeah, you should get them covered.
He's done another real joke!
Brilliant, that's a proper joke.
He's done, look at his little face, he smiles!
I'd like to see you on one of the sort of TV panel games. If they could bring back sort of celebrity squares,
Yeah.
it'd be amazing as the centre square.
Oh, that would be
Wouldn't that be
incredible.
extraordinary? Or on that countdown in Dictionary Corner.
I imagine him in Dictionary
Well,
Corner.
I'd come up with cat, if that
Yeah.
helps at all.
Yeah. Memblent.
Yeah, what does that mean, Carl?
Just anything you want it to mean. Oh, what I've got, there's a dog that's got a cough in Singapore, because it smokes 20 a day. Right, okay, another one.
No, it's the last one in it, so
Yeah.
we'll save it. The last one we've got is why don't they
Sorry, what was that? Wash up with you, that was it? But was that it? The survey of washing pots and
I
pans.
didn't understand, you said Italy were the cleanest.
No, Spain.
No, Brits were the quickest.
Yeah.
We were the quickest, but Italy was the
Spain was
cleanest.
the cleanest.
Turkey were the slowest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spain were the cleanest.
But why weren't we clean then? Because we were washing up, why were we not paying attention to the
We
bits
did it
of dirt
rubbish, we
whistle?
did it quick.
We did it quickly, but I don't understand why it was being rated on.
Who was doing it? Was it Lynette Newman or Ainsley Harriott?
She's quick, both of them are quick.
Yeah.
Well, they've got like kind of slaves that do it for them.
Did we use fairy liquid?
Dunno, it didn't have
Did we
all
use
that.
a whole bunch of Boy Scouts?
Didn't say that. Just
Like
said,
Lynette.
it just said, you know, that.
Who had the softest
volunteered
hands?
for that?
Who had the softest hands?
So it didn't say, I didn't.
Why is it we don't get notified that this is taking place?
I don't know.
When I was a kid, no one ever said, you know, we need recruits because we're doing a survey on who can wash up
Yeah.
the quickest.
Are you disappointed in yourself with that one, Carl?
It is pretty dull, to be fair, and that is why we've got to bring in either con merchant
Okay.
or a wine merchant.
Or shut up at your face?
Yeah.
Would you be able to, if I put you on the spot in the next, sort of after the next record, would you be able to give an example of how con merchant would work? I mean, is there something you could do just to sort of
Should we
experiment
play a
there?
record? Should we play a record?
Play a
I've
tune,
got a
what's your
cough.
record,
I can do better than that.
What?
Ads.
Go on. Travis on XFM 104.9 on Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. We're doing Educating Ricky. Right, final one. Come on, Carl.
Right, what was it? It was, why don't they just get a diary or some paper or something to write on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
snappy.
I couldn't think of a heading for it. It's basically,
Go on.
people who have tattoos, I've never understood it, right? That they have something put on their arm.
Right, sorry. Have we started the educate? Is this part of it? Are you educating me? This is something that will be useful in my life that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Go on then.
No, it's just that they've got a machine out, right, that, does tattoos.
Tattoos.
You come up with a design you want, and you sort of, this machine scans it, and, you put your arm in this thing, and you press print or whatever, and then it does the tattoo on your hand, or on your
What, like
arm.
loads of little needles that follow a pattern?
Yeah,
computer, is it?
basically, yeah.
Is it a real tattoo? It's a proper
It's a proper one. The fella said,
Well, as long as it goes out, it pierces the skin with a
I just wondered if it's one of those kind of, you know, those kind of...
No,
two-layer
it must be lots of little needles or a moving needle that can go
Sorry,
along
but
it.
how is this cleaned, like, in between each person?
dunno, probably, I don't know.
Well, no, it's only that if it's one needle, it's just the head, isn't it? If it's one needle that moves, and does it like like loads of little...
What are we gaining from a machine doing it?
Just because you know they're gonna sort of mess it up.
But hold on, how do you keep your arm still? Because your skin moves slightly, so the machine
it's
won't...
sort of strapped. to your arm.
Right,
And
so it
the fella,
spread-
I mean,
so
the
it-
fella said that the tricky thing was in all this, it was the fact that, you know, nobody would let him test it out on anyone else, so he had to do it himself.
But did it work? Because the thing is with a tattoo
it
artist,
works,
they can see when your skin's moved and they can see what they've done and they keep wiping it and looking, whereas a machine's just got to trust itself. So, I think one needle could go wrong. If it was a lot of needles, that it just came down, like, you know, 1,000 needles that was an imprint.
Yeah.
But,
No,
obviously I'm asking someone who's, hasn't delved any further than there's a machine that can give you a tattoo. That's all you've got at the moment, isn't it?
Well, yeah, basically.
That's all you've got.
I mean, that's what I've got, because I'm not a fan of tattoos. I don't.
But where did you read this again?
This was,
Internet?
This was on the internet, yeah, it was, yeah.
Okay.
And I just don't understand why people do it. That's what got me attention. Because me,
Sorry, what have I learned from this?
that if you wanted to get one, you know, you can get one done by a machine now. You know, people say machines are sort of taking over and that, and there's another one. But it's just the fact, I mean, I don't know,
So give us the snappy title of this education again.
why don't they just get a diary or some paper or something to write it on? That's what I always think when I see people with loads of tattoos. Like, there's that fella who we were talking about the other week in Scotland who was covered 99% in tattoos. It's just like, what have you done that for?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't get rid of it now. You've done it now.
Yeah.
One of my uncles, right, Tattoo Stan, he's just caked in them.
Tattoos.
Right.
I don't think he's my proper uncle, but it's just like, my dad's got...
Tattoo Stan!
No, my dad's got...
That's a province in Russia, isn't it?
My dad's got loads of mates who,
When you
like,
say he's not your
names.
proper uncle.
Do you know how, like, when
Just a bloke
someone
who used to
comes
hang
around,
around
you
the school?
alright, Uncle Stan?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there was, my dad had loads of mates like that. There was John the Screw.
Right.
So he either works in a prison or he likes to have sex.
Cabbie. Cab driver.
Okay.
There was Jimmy the Hat. I don't know what he
Jimmy
did.
the Hat?
Yeah. And,
Did he wear a hat?
No.
No.
There was Fred the Veg.
You sure he wasn't a relative?
Sorry.
Fred the Veg used to get us, like, big bags of potatoes and that.
Fred Veg, okay.
And there was Tattoo Stan.
Right.
And he was just caked in them, and I used to always look at him thinking, why have you done that? I must have only been, like, you know, 6
I
or
suppose
7.
if you're born with a name like Tattoo Stan,
Exactly.
you're destined,
Sorry,
aren't you,
were
really?
they like a 1950s gang?
I'm worried about, I'm
Who
worried
were
about,
doing a bank job?
what was his name, the Hat? What was his name?
Jimmy the Hat.
I'm worried about Jimmy the Hat.
Yeah.
Not having a hat.
I don't understand
Are
it.
you sure he didn't have a hat?
Not when I met him.
Did he ever wear a hat?
I didn't see him that much.
Do you think it was a joke, like, you know, when, your mate's sort of like, you know, 8 foot and huge, you call him Little John or Tiny? Do you think...
Well, the fact that he never wore
Yeah,
a
they
hat.
went, hold on, I've noticed something about Jim. Go on. No hat. And I go, oh, true, let's call him Jim the Hat.
Jimmy the Hat, yeah. But me Uncle Stan, he had, like, loads of them. He did them himself.
Oh dear.
And it was always that thing.
What was it things like?
It was, he had, like, the
cross.
cut here one.
Cut here,
on
made
the
in
neck.
Britain.
And if you're going to do them yourself, I'd say at least make sure you're sort of a good drawer.
Yeah.
And don't do it in the mirror, so it comes out backwards.
Well, that was the other thing. But, like, I remember he did, I mean, names are alright. He had, like, all his kids' names down his arm. And,
what are they called?
Yeah.
oh, God, it's...
Tattoo Stan Jr.
Yeah.
And,
Paul shits the bed.
I'm trying to...
Oh, Wabbai Kate.
Yeah.
But he had...
Frankie never amounts to anything.
Oh, God.
So he had, like,
Yeah. Johnny, I don't think he's mine.
so he did all this... I don't even know why I'm telling you about tattoos.
No, nor do I, Carl.
Hey,
to be honest,
I don't know if maybe you just have to picture this, but my sister had to take a photo once. She was working in, like, a factory. Not to denigrate people who work in factories, but there happened to be a particularly oddball, kind of lank-haired, weird guy working in this factory. And he did his own tattoos. And she took a photo of it because she was so extraordinary. He'd drawn it himself. Now, bear in mind, it was the kind of thing you saw when you were doing art when you were, like, 15. This was the sort of person who designed their own, like, heavy rock album cover.
Yeah.
He's that sort of person. So, I mean, like,
was it
he
a
knew how to draw.
dragon with breasts?
You're not far off, Rick.
No.
You're not far off. I'll tell you what it was. He had this tattooed on his back. It took up his entire back. She took a photo of it for me. He drew it himself. He had it tattooed himself. And it was just too much detail. Too much detail for a tattoo. It needs to be fairly simple, I think, to make a tattoo. It was... It was a naked female vampire having a shower.
Why was she having a shower?
Having a shower, well, that's why she was naked.
Yeah.
And so she was
been out, she was, presumably,
she'd been out at night.
Been out, a lot of blood.
Yeah, well, she was naked, so you could see her naked body.
Yeah.
She's quite a beautiful vampire, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Although the symmetry of her face was somewhat off.
Yeah.
The only thing I think that gave it away
had a bad spine.
was that she did have some pointed teeth. I think that was how you knew she was a vampire.
Right. Was she looking,
the fact that she was having a shower was very specific.
Weird, isn't it?
But he sort of drawn in
he said to the eye, listen, I want a naked bird, right? But I don't want it to be gratuitous. He goes, well, you can put her in the shower, because then they went, pop her in the shower.
That at least gives some kind of justification.
That's the plot. I mean, it's justified within the story. She's in a shower. Sure. Okay. Yeah, we'll have that. Carl.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Any other nicknames your friends of your family had?
What was your nickname, Carl?
Just, Pilky, really.
Because for a minute I thought Carl the Veg would have made a lot of sense.
Yeah, Carl the Veg. And why has your dad got a little tattoo, Dopey Twat, on his arm?
Right, we'll do the answers to, Rockbusters next, yeah?
Brilliant. Buzzcocks. Still sounds brilliant, that.
It is a cracker.
They're from Manchester as well, Carl. So they've got a little bit of pride there, eh?
I think one of them's, one of my mate's dads.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
What's his nickname?
Well, his name was, I don't really want to say his name.
Oh, okay.
Laurie, his first name was.
Yeah. Still is, probably.
Yeah. He was a good lad.
Well, you know those little fellas at school that didn't know each other, weren't related and weren't friends, because it would be too obvious, that they had webbed, hands and big heads?
Yeah.
What were they, did they have any nicknames?
Again, too obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, Big Head, or, you know.
Sure.
Oh, I bet you're good at juggling, or...
Frog Twins.
Yeah.
Can I just interrupt you guys, because we've just had an email here, I hate to query you, Carl, and your educating Ricky section, because I know you put a lot— don't read this, let me just read it for you. Just had an email here from Olivia, and this has also been corroborated by someone else, I forget who it was. She just tuned in, and she just heard you explaining the expression, letting the cat out of the bag.
Sure.
It was all to do with cats that were put in bags by dodgy butchers, possibly the 17th century, we're not too sure. Anyway, she claims— well, let me see, she says, she uses both the words twaddle and crap. In relation to your definition. She says letting the cat out of the bag is an old shipping expression from when sailors used to get flogged for their misdemeanors. The cat
letting the
is
cat,
the cat
of
of nine tails, which is a kind of whip thing that they used to keep hanging in a bag below deck. If it was discovered that a sailor had done something wrong, the cat would be let out of the bag and he'd get a whipping. Of course it is. Don't let the cat out of the bag, meaning to cover something up which
she's talking nonsense,
no,
right?
she's not. That's the truth. That's
because the one I read about that was there's not enough room in here to swing a cat, right? And that was people who worked on a boat.
Yeah, well, that's the same one.
Well, that's fine. They could have two expressions for the
same thing. They're not going to
thing.
keep going on about people working on a boat to get loads of things.
You can't have two phrases about the same thing!
They're not going to be going to do with their time.
Think how many—
just coming up with stuff
think
like
how many metaphors have birds in them, and, you know, it's ridiculous. Why can't you can have as many sounds as you like about anything, Carl.
Yeah,
there's not a rule.
Whatever.
They don't go, we've made one up about the cat and nine tails.
Well, cheers for that, Oliver. Olivia.
Yeah.
Don't see your email coming up with the Rockbusters answers, so...
Well, you better give us the answers
let's
again.
give them out. The first one was, you've been dunking that for too long. That was LB.
Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, got that one.
The third one, we'll jump to that one, because you've got it. Well, I've had a rubbish day, so I'm happy it's all over. That was GK.
That's a great one.
That's
Gladys Knight.
Gladys Knight. Gladys Knight. That is brilliant, Carl.
And the one that, you're both having a problem with, you won't be able to play that game in this pub. The table ain't big enough. FD.
Go on.
Fats Domino. Yeah?
What?
The dominoes, you play dominoes in a pub. The dominoes fat. Pub tables are quite small. You won't be able to play that game in this pub. Fats Domino.
Rubbish.
So, do you want to pick a winner?
Rubbish.
Well, you say it's rubbish, but plenty of people got the right answer.
Rubbish.
Who do you want to go with?
The bunch of, slightly rubbish prizes is going to Elliot K. from Chigwell in Essex. Well done to Elliot.
I just, before we go, can we just get a little email off Anders, because I think he must— well, I think we've probably turned him round with this show.
I'd have thought so.
I think he's gonna be saying, coming to us with his tail between his legs, saying, sorry lads, a blinding show, I was wrong, you were right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright.
A song for the lovers is very exciting this week.
we haven't had a song for the lovers or the ladies for quite some time. Let's combine the two, and a bit of John Martin, May You Never, let's end with that this week. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.